Hi, I'm Jamie Ruby, and welcome to Sci-Fivision. The Wilderness Chose. Today we have a special guest, Nia Sondaya, and also my co-host, of course, Scarlet. But welcome, Nia. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it. So I know you don't have a whole lot of time, but to start out, I did want to ask you said you grew up in Pittsburgh, and obviously, like I told you, I'm from PA. Did you go to school here? I mean, I know you probably went to high school here, but I'm not sure. Did you go to college or?
I actually left for college. I moved to LA and went to school out here. But Pittsburgh does have some really incredible schools like Pitt and CMU that I could have gone to, but I think I just wanted to venture out.
That's fine. I just was curious. The first thing that I did want to ask you about the show is you came in obviously playing the same character after Kia. What was it like coming in and having to take over? And did they just kind of say, do your own thing? Or did you try to sort of look at what she did?
I definitely looked at what she did. I wanted to honor the work that she had already done. This was not a character that I, originated. So I wanted to make sure that the roots and the bones were as they were. So I definitely watched what Kia did, and I kind of just found my groove and found a way to take over and implement my own mannerisms and ways, but also keeping what she had already laid down, which was that Akilah was very, very bright, very kind, very pure-hearted. I think I kind of kept all of those things very true because I really loved that portrayal of her. And then I just kind of did my own thing on top of that. There wasn't really instruction or anything from anyone coming in. I think they kind of trusted me to take over her. And I think we found a nice rhythm with Akilah after taking over. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Scarlet.
Okay, I'll start with how was it working with the animal trainers on the show?
It was amazing. So we had a lot of different animals this season. As you guys have seen already, we've had bunnies, we've had ducks, we've had a goat. And so it was really, really awesome getting to work with it. We had a llama. We had so many animals. So it was really cool getting to work with them. The animal wranglers were really sweet. They were a family and they owned a farm. So they had these animals and they would bring them on. I worked with the bunnies the most. And so kind of the deal with the bunnies is they'd bring them on. I would always get to meet my animals before filming with them. I'd get a little time to just kind of hang out, introduce myself, and just kind of get acquainted and comfortable with them. And so they can get comfortable with me because I'm going to be holding them for however many hours a day. And so they were really, really sweet. And they took the time to explain everything to me, taught me how to hold them and, what to do when they get antsy. And with the bunnies, we had 2 bunnies at all times. So when one bunny was getting tired and didn't want to be held anymore, we'd put that bunny back and we'd use the other bunny. And so I think that they did a wonderful job with just kind of being patient and teaching me what to do and how to treat the animals. And in turn, I had a really, really great time with them and the animals all season.
It's fun.
I have another question though. Do you have any funny animal stories? Any of the animals?
Oh, yes, actually, I have a good one. So the scene in 6 when or is it 5? It's 6 where I have the goat. And no, it is 5. Sorry. I was like, what was that? So I have the goat, and it's when right after Melissa and Shauna, cut Ben's Achilles, and I'm sitting out with the goat, and I think everyone was in a circle around the fire, and I'm holding the goat, and the director goes, okay, I want to have everyone kind of disperse after this and everyone kind of trickle out. And so I go, okay, great. I'm sitting on a stump holding the goat, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to get up and I'm gonna disperse. And so I go to get up with the goat, and I knew a second after I decided to do it that it was a bad idea and that I should just stay seated. But I was already getting up, and he I loosened my grip a bit, and he jumped straight out of my arms, and the goat is now jumping all around. He's jumping over the fire. He's running all over, and I was so scared because we're filming at night, and it was there was so much happening all around, and I was if we lose this goat, he's gone. He's off into the wilderness, and we won't find him until maybe morning. So I was really freaked out, and so everybody's we have the director, we have the camera guys, our crew, everybody's trying to corner the goat and trying to keep him. And we finally got him, but I was first of all, I was I'm so sorry. I was that was my fault. I shouldn't have done that. And they were well, no, girl, you are not meant to know how to do this. It's okay. So yeah, that was a moment where I freaked out because I was oh God, this goat gonna do his own thing.
Never know what animals are going to do. I was just going to say for everybody in the chat, you can drop questions in, and in a little bit we'll ask some of your questions. I wanted to ask you, and this is to do with the llama too, so it's also about the animals, but is it hard when you're doing like a hallucination or vision, whatever you want to call it, like that, like not laughing during some of those scenes? Because especially with the llama, that's a little strange. So does it ever do you ever just want to like crack up? Is it hard to stay?
It's never hard to stay in it. Once they call action for me, it's like whoop, and I'm in it. And so I don't really break with the animals, but I will say that the second they call cut, I am like a giggling little, like I'm like smiling and enjoying myself. The second they call cut, I am like enjoying myself with the animals. But I don't think I've ever wanted to break in the middle while filming. I actually lied. I take that back. There was one particular scene when we had like all of the like goats in the like petting zoo, and we were trying to like feed them so that they would stay in the same area all at once. And I remember I like ran out of like food to I was like kind of like feeding them a little like underhanded so you couldn't see into the camera, so they would like stay near me and like they were eating out of the palm of my hands. And I like ran out of food. The second the food was out of my hand, he was just like done with me and like walked away immediately. And I did almost chuckle a bit there because I was like, and I lost him. Yeah, so they're really cute and funny.
Yeah, with the llama scene, did you work with a recording of Vincent Pastore, or was it somebody reading the script?
At that time, I don't think we knew that it was going to be Vincent. So okay. One of our really wonderful ADs just stood kind of off to the side, a little bit like beside the llama, and would read those lines to me, and I would just do it to the camera. But yeah, and then we found out a little later that it was going to be Vincent from The Sopranos, and I thought, wow, that's freaking iconic.
Now, when you do these scenes, did they tell you at all like what they actually mean, her visions, or were you left to kind of interpret it on your own?
Left to interpret on my own, but then we always have these discussions when filming, and it was nice because 3, which was like the first time Akilah has a big like vision in a moment like that was directed by Jonathan Lisco, who's one of our showrunners and creators. So that was like having him right there. We were able to discuss and really go over what I thought it meant, what he thought it meant, and like what we were trying to show. So that was really awesome, getting to kind of like have them on set with us while filming those scenes, because they were wild to interpret for sure.
I was gonna say, was your interpretation far off on them, or because
what's interesting is not really, and that was cool. Like I remember coming to set with like all of my notes and being like to Jonathan, okay, this is what I'm thinking. Is her thought process here? And he was like, whoa, and like we were like talking about it, and I remember he said something, and I was like, wait, I was like, I literally have that written in my notes right here, exactly what you said. So we were kind of on the same page with the interpretation, which was really nice. Yeah, but then it's also funny because later on I like am looking at what everyone else is interpreting and what they're seeing. And I'm like, wow, I'm like, you guys are really smart. I didn't even think of some of this stuff. So yeah, I think that's really the dream sequences this season were really cool and really like wide for interpretation. I think everyone found little hints and pieces of things that even we as actors missed while filming. So I think it's really cool to see.
Scarlet?
Yeah,
I wanted to ask, how did they do the effect where vines come around your feet and you're pulled into the earth?
That was all special effects. So we had like filmed like my initial like reactions to like getting pulled, like they would say, and now you're getting pulled down. And then there was like some stuff where we like kind of had like a bit of a pit almost, and then they filmed me a bit in the pit, so like they had like just the top of my head or whatever. And then they did the rest of that, like the actual me getting dragged down and all that in VFX.
Oh, okay. It almost looked like they reversed the shot. Like you were almost coming up first, and then they put.
Honestly, probably. I wish I actually knew more of the ins and outs of that stuff. But yeah, that's a good idea. They might have done that.
Yeah. Also, when I had a sub question, did they tell you were walking on Steve Kruger's back in the one vision, or was that a surprise? Okay.
No,
so
that was
like
in
you
the
walking on his back.
Yeah, that was in the script. And what's cool about that is that I really was kind of unsure of how we were going to film that for a while. I was like, will it be just like a big like green screen or blue screen, which essentially it was, but they did actually film Steven, so they had Steven come in and do like a lot of that, like laying there and like breathing, and like maybe I think he did like some like movements with his arms and his legs, and so it's actually a shot of Steven doing all of that stuff, and I think they basically just like enlarged him and shrunk me, and so that's how they did that.
That's cool.
Interesting, yeah. I know you can't tell us what anything means, and obviously we don't know which ones you were close on and which ones you were far on. But can you talk about maybe what your interpretation of the newest vision with the three-eyed bear? Is there anything like that's just your own interpretation, not what's going to happen or anything else, just what you thought about it, I guess?
Well, I think personally, I think that the dreams to me seem like they get more like frantic and chaotic the more desperate Akilah seems to be to try to understand and make some sense and like unravel them. And I think that it's kind of like a bit of a representation of like her mind and her mental health at the time, because it's like she's so desperate to interpret and to find some meaning and to find some hope in these visions. And I think that the more she's trying, the more chaotic and like harder they are to decipher. And so I think that that has a lot to do with it. And then also like the bear being so overwhelming. And so, and quite frankly, terrifying. And I think that that just like is like a true representation of how she feels. I think she feels extremely overwhelmed and extremely terrified. And so part of me does feel like a lot of that vision was her conjuring up some of her biggest fears. And so that's my own interpretation of the vision, not, you know.
I know. Yes, we know you can't tell us the truth. Go ahead, Scarlet.
Okay. Okay, this is a question for Akilah herself. If you made a mixtape in 1996, 1995 as Akilah, what songs would you put on it?
Oh, that's a great question. Lauryn Hill. Was Lauryn Hill? I feel like Lauryn Hill is definitely the 90s. Like the Fugees. That's such a great question. Can I come back to it actually? While
sure.
I think a little bit?
You can think about it.
For sure.
I wanted to ask you, do you think that Travis should tell, and whether this happens or not, I don't know, but do you think that he should tell her the truth, that he kind of threw her under the bus a little bit? And how
Absolutely. I think he should have never thrown her under the bus to begin with. But I definitely do think he owes her the truth as to why she is like ending up in all of these really crazy, circumstances with Lottie. I think that he does owe her an explanation.
Yeah. Do you think she'd be mad though?
You know what? I do think that she would be hurt. But I think that Akilah doesn't necessarily have it in her right now to like act on like anger or anything. So I think she'd be upset, but I don't think that like enough to do something about it. Probably not.
Okay, that's fair. Go ahead, Scarlett, and then we'll take a few from the chat.
What has been your favorite scene to shoot so far?
Favorite scene to shoot? Probably anything where I got to hold bunnies all day long. So the trial was a lot of fun for me.
Get to sit back and pet them. That would be, I think, my ideal scene.
They're so sweet. Oh, and they just like they love to be cuddled, and they just like snuggle into my arms and just chill there all day. It was a good time.
Justin says, Nia, what inspires you to prepare for a role?
What inspires me? What do I do to get ready for a role? I'm trying to think. Usually I do a lot of like character journaling, where I will write out my character's like thoughts and opinions on everything that's happening, everyone around her. And I think that really always helps me really get into character and like get in the mindset. I'll like track the entire episode and like track all of Akilah's thoughts and opinions on everything that's happening. And I always like refer back to that. Stuff like that always helps me prepare. Little bit of research. Sometimes music will help as well. Finding like a good album or like artist that I feel like relate to the character or in this, like, make music that are in the same vein of this character. I sometimes will use that as well. So those are just like a few things.
All right, let's see. Whoops. Chris says, do you play soccer yourself?
I don't. And what's really funny is that when I first booked the role and I like was telling my parents, I was like, guys, guess what? Like, I booked. I was like, I'm going to be on a show called Yellowjackets. And my dad was like, isn't that show about soccer? He was like, you don't play soccer. You can't play soccer. What are you going to do? And I was like, I think I'm just going to cross that bridge when I get there, Dad. Thanks. But no, I do not play soccer. So sorry.
All right. AA says, how does Akilah feel being junior varsity with all the varsity girls there? And who else was junior varsity?
That's a great question. And I always assumed that Akilah was the only one bumped from JV up to varsity because of Allie and because she had to get replaced at the last minute. But I will say that I feel like, especially for me last season, I think that played a huge role in the way that I played Akilah, just because I feel like her position within this group of girls and within this dynamic has always felt very JV, very much younger, very much, I feel like she kind of was like, I don't want to say like shy, because Akilah definitely finds her moments where she will stand up for herself or where she will be brave, when she'll, help or step up. But I feel like she was very like muted and very like in the background, and only when necessary would she speak out or do something, where I feel like now she's starting to grow and become more confident in like her contributions to the group and contributions to their survival in the wilderness. And so I feel like she's in her own right kind of like leaving the JV title behind and realizing that she is, because of their circumstances, is very much just a part of the team as everyone else. But I do feel like it played a big part in how she carried herself in the group in the first 2 seasons.
I was going to say, she probably wishes she hadn't jumped up there.
Absolutely wishes that she'd stayed JV. 100,000%.
Yeah. I know you never know for sure with a show like this, but they do say towards the end of the last episode that no one else survives. So there's a chance that we may never see an adult Akilah. We kind of hope so, but we don't really know. But if you did get an adult Akilah, I know you're an adult, but you know what I mean. An older,
absolutely. That's okay.
It was, you're playing a teenager, and it was up to you. Who would you like to see cast as you?
Okay, so personally, I've always felt that Tika Sumpter would make a really good adult Akilah for so many reasons. I do think that we would favor each other in a way that could pull that off. But I also think that Tika Sumpter holds a bit of like, obviously she's sophisticated, mature, but I feel like she has like a bit of like an innocence or like a purity to her that I think she can play really well. And I think that Akilah needs that. Just as of right now, I feel like the Akilah that we know and love is so pure of heart and so genuinely kind. And so I feel like Tika Sumpter just like has that about her. So I would love if that were to happen. I think that Tika Sumpter would be an awesome choice. Or also, I've seen a lot of people say like Regina King or Gabrielle Union, and I mean that would be a dream come true, an absolute dream come true for either of them to get to play adult Akilah. And I also think they would make really awesome choices as well. I think that Regina King and both Gabrielle Union have like a strength to their presence that I think I would love to see in an adult version of Akilah. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Those are.
I have a follow-up question to that. Do you think Akilah would be a medical field if she survived to the present day?
I think that's a really strong contender for the career for her. I do think that it would be something along like something in the medical field, or like a veterinarian, or so definitely something along those lines. I think something where she's helping others. I think that she'd probably want to like to help her like guilty conscience. Maybe she would like take up a job in like helping others or making a difference in the world. I think definitely something along those lines, and probably something where she would get to be with animals, because I think as we see in these seasons, like her love for animals is really developing.
Yeah, I didn't think about a vet, but what I was thinking about, because in the first season, the character sews up Van's face.
Yeah, and then also she steps up when it comes time to help deliver Shauna's baby. So I do think that that is a strong choice.
All right. I know you're we're almost out of time, but let me bring in A's question. It says, do you think that there was any truth to Travis saying that the wilderness wanted Akilah? Because when the bird watchers came, it was Lottie, Travis, and Akilah that looked first. I have to go back down one and see.
So this is me, Nia, the actress. I personally think that there is a lot of truth to it. I don't think that Travis knew that there was truth to it when he said it. I think that Travis said it initially to get Lottie off of his back. But then I think that over time, but I think that even as he had done that, I think that Akilah was already feeling the pull from the wilderness, the call, if you will. I think there were like little moments where they kind of like sprinkled it in, like in the first episode, at the very end of the episode, that sound that everyone hears, Akilah hears it first. Before, and then she says to Misty, do you hear that? And she's like, what? And then everyone hears it. So it's like Akilah was already kind of in tune. And then, you know, in episode 3, when they decide they're going to go into the caves and everyone's kind of hesitant, and Akilah, who I personally feel is not really like the head of the Catch Ben crusade, is, you know, encouraging them to go into the cave almost as if she's being called to do so. And so I feel like that wilderness connection that Travis is talking about, I do feel like it is very alive and well in Akilah. I just think that he didn't know that at the time.
That's fair. I was going to say, I take it then that you think there is something to her visions rather
there's
than
something. I definitely think there's something for sure.
All right, fair enough. Scarlet, and then it's.
Do you think that Akilah might become Antler Queen?
I've seen that theory, and I'd be more interested to see how people think. I personally don't. I don't think that Akilah has that sort of power. I don't think she desires to have that kind of power. I think that Akilah's main goal and only goal is to survive this, and to hold on to her humanity as long as she can. And so I just don't think that Antler Queen is something that I don't think Akilah would want that for herself. I think she's actually kind of running from that out here.
And she wants to see her family because it's one of the few characters we have.
Yeah, that has family. Yeah. Let's get back to like a sibling or
Do you have time for a couple more from the chat, or I know you got to get going?
I do. I can do a couple more from the chat.
Okay. All right. Lori from Real Cinema Therapy says, is Akilah an empath?
Absolutely. And it is killing her out here. I think that everything that is happening and that she's being exposed to and forced to participate in, I think that it is absolutely killing her. And I think that it is ruining her mental health. I think she is definitely an empath, and she feels all of this, and she feels pain for I think she has felt so strongly for Travis and his loss of Hobby and his parents. I think she even feels for Shauna and, you know, the loss that she had. I think that Akilah is definitely an empath. Bless her little heart.
That's fair. Samuel says, what was that fake dead mouse you almost ate made of? Was it edible material or not?
No, it's not edible material. It was like a little wax, like a little mouse that you would see in like one of like maybe those like little children like play sets that they have. It was like a little like rubber plastic mouse thing. Yeah, definitely was not edible. And it was really sad looking. It like had you could like see its ribs and its little teeth poking out. It was very sad.
That was a great acted scene though, when she kept kind of bringing it up to her mouth.
Yeah, like she was gonna maybe try to eat it. She was so hungry. Oh, there was nothing on that rat but skin and bones.
Poor Nugget. Why do you think Akilah is so connected to her vision quest with Lottie?
I think that for Akilah, it's her way of feeling like she is contributing, that she's adding something. And I think that everyone needs a little bit of hope. And so I feel like she's kind of taken on this responsibility. If the wilderness is speaking to her, if she can find some meaning and some truth to this, then maybe she can help them figure out how to escape, how to survive, whatever the case may be. So I think that for Akilah, she's taken it on as kind of her responsibility and her contribution. If this is what the wilderness wants from them, then like, I guess she should try, right? So,
right. Yeah. Let's go. Let's take one more and then we'll let you go. Who would you say Akilah's closest to in the wilderness?
I think obviously it's Mari. I think from the very first episode, they kind of like linked up, and then ever since, I mean, they share a hut, they're roomies, you know. So I think that Akilah and Mari are definitely best friends. But then I think that there is something in Akilah that is like more drawn to Travis. Even I think because Travis has this it's not an innocence in the same way that Akilah is like very purely innocent, but I think that Travis is the only one who hasn't like actively participated in some of the darker rituals and some of the darker things that have happened out in the wilderness. And I think that Akilah sees that in him. And I think that a part of her trusts him and feels safer around him. But I also feel like she looks up to Taissa, and I feel like she trusts Taissa in a way as well. So those, you asked who's closest, and I gave you 3. Sorry.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, I know you did have to go, but we appreciate your time. Thank you for staying a few minutes longer and for coming. And you're welcome to come back anytime. And I was gonna say, for everybody else, we're gonna do a live breakdown yet of this week's episode and talk about all the crazy stuff that went down. So, but thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having me. Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Yeah,
You too.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye. Right, let me take that off. Give me 1 second, guys.
She's so sweet.
Yeah, she was. It's too bad she couldn't stay longer, but I knew she had to get going. So, but thank you again, Nia, for coming. We appreciate it. And but now for the people who are here, we are going to dive into the episode. And also, I should announce that I didn't announce yet because I just found out today and got confirmation that on the 27th of this month, again at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have Vanessa Prasad, who plays Jen. So make sure you guys come back around for that. That'll be another fun live interview, and hopefully we'll have more to come. We will try to continue to get more people, but for right now we'll do our breakdown. Let me just get my file open here while I'm talking to you.
We already got positive comments. I got positive comments on the interview.
Yes, thank you guys. I'm glad that you enjoyed the interview. I think it was a lot of fun. Let me get my thing up here. All right. Whoa, that made noise. Let me get my pictures here. Sorry. I should have had these open, but I did not. All right. Let's open this, and we will do a share screen. And which one? Okay. That would be the right one. There we go. All right. Well, while I'm finishing getting this, why don't you, what did you think about this episode? Because I think this was.
I love this episode.
You love this episode.
I love this episode, my whole heart and being. Especially the end, especially the last 15 seconds.
Yeah, I think the last few seconds were kind of the crazy part of the episode, most definitely. But a lot happened. But those 15 seconds, I think, more happened than all of it put together, really, to be honest.
I mean, the Yellowjackets never fails to surprise me, but I'm also not watching trailers or anything, but they always, for the talking llama to walking on Coach Ben's back in a vision, it just throws these curveballs at me all the time.
Yeah, I was going to say, even just Nia had a lot of great scenes with all those crazy visions. I still question some of them, maybe more hallucinations than visions, but I guess we'll find out. And shouldn't think that way. I was gonna say.
Well, I mean, the Oracle of Delphi was huffing. Yeah. Had a veil that she put over whatever she huffed. I can't remember.
Yeah, we'll find out.
So, yeah.
All City says that in a way, Coach was the bridge because his sacrifice led them to being discovered. I hadn't thought about it that way. They were discovered. I mean, was this a good discovery? I guess that remains to be seen.
Yes.
But I still think maybe also, and we had talked about this last week, that maybe he represented what was left of their humanity. And I think that they don't have a whole lot of it left. So
not after they like Shauna looks at the bird watchers and starts going stabby.
Yeah.
She was all twitchy. Did you see the scene where they all
actually
Shauna was kind of twitchy. She was everybody was quiet and she was kind of twitching, ready to stab.
Yeah. we will go through the episode, but I wanted to do a couple of the things from the chat. Doc says that the girls are totally unaliving that group of people. Yeah, I do not think that those two people, or those three people rather, because Lottie did see somebody who may be Joe McHale. We don't know that. Yeah, I don't think they stand a chance. At least, definitely not all three of them. I mean, I think there's a possibility that maybe one of them gets back to the present or whatever, and they're after them. But at least two out of the three, yeah, they're done for.
Because I mean, how are they going to explain it? They've got like a head sitting by a gate.
They can't. I mean, if they hadn't had proof they ate them, they could have maybe gotten around it. But
or at least not the head out. At least not the head was straight there.
That was really crazy that they left his head out. I think that was. I don't know if that would. Why do you think they did that? Do you think that was like Shauna trying to hurt Natalie? Do you think it was just to honor him? Why do you think they did that?
That's Shauna's twisted way of honoring someone. Like, have him watch our feast. Let him put his head out there, and he can watch us eat him or something like that. Shauna's the worst.
Shauna's the worst.
Twisted.
All City says, I wonder if this is the rescue moment. I think that we've kind of established by the timeline that they can't be rescued yet, right? They have to be there another, like, half a year.
Yeah, when I was calculating it in my head, the latest it can be is like late November, December. And they're just feeling the start of winter. And like in Canada, it might be September, maybe October. I mean, it's called Thanksgiving Canada. I'm assuming Thanksgiving in Canada takes place in October. I'm assuming maybe it's the beginning of October there.
I don't know. I was going to say,
because there was that time jump where like Nat and Coach have all the scenes where she's like feeding him and he's refusing. I think that's supposed to be our time jump.
Yeah. Well, it says Thanksgiving was October 13th.
Yeah.
Or October 13th.
So I'm assuming it's taking place around then.
Yeah. So it's definitely fall and getting cold. So I think we have a while left, but
they said 19 months.
There's a chance to get our way, and they may not be able to because of that. Let's see. Whoop, that wasn't the right one. I think it was Doc that said that. Where did it go? I lost it. Oh, All City said she's worse than Joffrey and Ramsay Bolton. Let's see. Chris says Joe McHale is going to turn into Top Soup. I think he's on the page you are.
I had an image of him tied up to a pole, like old school cartoon with an apple in his mouth, and like Shauna turning it over a fire. But he's still alive, so he's trying to talk to them. He's like,
That's funny. Yeah. I'm taking. Did somebody like paint it, or is it like an AI? It's probably an AI thing.
Oh, that was just in my head.
Oh, I thought you said you saw a picture. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's in my own imagination.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know, the AI, though, has limits. That it may not do. It's probably filtered for stuff
I could probably draw it out.
Yeah, you could. I'm sure you could. Let's see. Jen. I was going to say hate. Jen hates young Shauna and Melissa, too. Let's see. Samuel says almost a year has passed. They need to be there for 19 months. So, yeah.
Well, more than a year. Because I think they left for finals. I was kind of saying maybe April, May for the finals for their soccer.
Yeah.
Because they were missing prom, but they weren't missing the end of the school year.
Yeah, I was going to say, usually I assume the end of the school year is towards May or so, but I don't.
So when I was counting 19 months, I was landing it in like this November, December.
Yeah. Well, I think you keep better track of the timeline than I do. Let's see. All City says, damn, they're going to eat the bird watchers. Probably.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't even have to eat Coach. I mean, they had plenty of food. They had that huge fish that Misty made Coach in the last episode.
Yeah, well, that's what I've said before. I go back to when I watch The Wilds. They need to learn how to preserve meat, and then they can not have to worry so much.
No, but they said they were preserving food. Like Van and Ty had a talk about it when they were reinforcing the yurts.
Yeah, but I mean to actually preserve meat. I don't know that they know how to do that. I don't know. They
probably did. They just probably wanted to eat Coach just for.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure they
take it from passive cannibalism they've been doing to active cannibalism.
That is true.
Canada Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Chris says, I don't know if Shauna can regress further. Her mindset is scary. I agree. Although I still like adult Shauna better than teen Shauna.
Yeah, but she kind of snapped in a weird leadership role. As soon as they gave her that leadership role, she seemed to know just what to do, which was really weird. I was like, I hate her a little less.
Yeah, she actually, I think, may have made a good leader. Although I don't know, because she would have killed Coach right away. But then again, if she did kill Coach right away, at least he wouldn't have suffered that long.
But she didn't kill Nat.
Yeah, she didn't kill Nat, and that's what's important. Let me take one more.
She could have killed Nat, but
she could have. Yeah, but
my boyfriend thinks the finale would be great if, like, they killed off somebody who was in the adult timeline and just left it for people to wonder about.
Could be good. Let me take one more of these, and then we'll start going in order a little bit. Jen says she bets the bird watching girl is Pit Girl. I think, weren't you saying something about that earlier?
I was talking about Ashley Sutton, but she has short hair. She has kind of like a bob. And Pit Girl has long hair, so I don't know. So either she grows hair really quick, or maybe I didn't see she was wearing a wig because it was real quick. It was a real quick shot of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a picture of when we get to. Actually, it's probably the last picture. I can probably rewind. Yeah, you can't really see. It's dark, so that doesn't help you.
But in promo pictures, she usually has shorter hair. That's why it was like maybe it could be her. I mean, maybe they would kidnap her for a while, then set her out. I mean, that'd be kind of twisted.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's coming, but I'm sure it's something twisted, that's for sure. But
yeah,
I just kind of feel like it's really bad irony, though, because it's potentially that they could have went home and found a way home, and now they have to kill these people, so they like screw their way home. So yeah,
because they're definitely going to run to the authorities. Because I would if I saw a severed exit by a gate.
Too. Yeah, I mean, seeing them eat a person, maybe not, because they could have been starving, but seeing them displaying their head. And dancing around it, screaming, not so good there. All right, well, let's go back and sort of go in order a little bit, and then we'll take questions, more of you guys' comments and questions. You guys, I got great grammar, right? And we'll post them as we get to that part of the episode, but this way we'll get everything. So the episode starts out with Shauna coming back home, and she's thinking about what happened. Now, I was writing down the lyrics of what was in the captions, but that's that song Queen of Hearts that was, I think, in the
Queen of Hearts,
okay.
So just little bits and pieces of everything that she's thinking about.
Right. It's just kind of like a quick little sort of recap. But she comes in the house, and Jeff is waiting up for her because he's trying to, worried about what's been going on. He said, I like his comment, though. He says, I was about to call the cops, and you know how I feel about the cops.
I was going to say, I don't think Jeff would ever call the cops.
I don't want to say bury one of the bodies, but he helped get rid of one of the bodies. I don't think he likes the cops so much now. But
he probably calls Syracuse. He'd probably show up, like Matt Syracuse would show up at the door. Though I'd love to see John Reynolds again.
Is it? Oh, no, that's right. That one isn't dead. I was thinking he was dead. That's right.
No, Kevin Tan was the one who died, unfortunately.
Yeah, I forgot about that. All right. So she realizes that he doesn't know anything, and she tells him, Lottie's dead, that they found her in the basement of her father's apartment building. Now, did you think his reaction here was a little odd? I don't know if it's just the way the actor played it, or if it's supposed to seem, I don't know if I think it's suspicious. It's just weird to me, the way he was like, really? Like, maybe he knew something? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I just don't think Shauna tells him anything.
That is very true. Maybe the case.
Or else he killed Lottie. Either one of those.
At any rate, Shauna says that the cops said it was an accident, but disgraced cult members don't just fall down the stairs and die. And when she's telling him this, she finds out Callie's listening and is now worried, which she was trying to not let her, find out, but she found out. And she runs off to get the tape that was left. Finally, we're getting back to this storyline for the tape that was left a few episodes ago. For anybody who doesn't remember, it was left at their front door. She had taken it. It had Shauna's name on it. Right. Jen says,
but her maiden name and not her married name.
Oh yeah, but her maiden name. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that would make sense, because if it is from somebody on the island, maybe they wouldn't know her married name.
The island.
The island, sorry, the wilderness. I will forever say the island. I think though that's not a lost thing. That's it's like deserted island. It's easy to say. Jen thinks that Callie didn't have the reaction she thought she would. So I got to ask you, Jen, what reaction did you think she'd have if it wasn't what you thought? I'm curious what you expected there. I don't know what I expected. I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest. But AA does not think Jeff was suspicious. Like I said, I don't know that I think he was suspicious so much. It was just a weird reaction. I wasn't sure quite what to think there, but I guess we'll find out. But Callie,
Jeff. It's just Jeff.
Yeah, it is Jeff. That's true.
Yeah.
But Callie goes and gets the tape, and she gives it to him, and she says that she thinks she screwed up because someone left the tape for her mother, and she says she didn't listen to it, but she's worried that whatever's on it might have something to do with.
She doesn't know how because she's too young.
Yeah, but she thinks it might have had something to do with what happened to Lottie. Well, to be fair, most people couldn't play a DAT tape, and since everything that happened,
could you imagine? Cassette tapes are weird enough to like Gen Zers, let alone.
Yeah,
crazy tape.
Like I said to you, I had never, like, personally, in my personal life, heard of a DAT tape. The only thing I ever knew about a DAT tape was from X-Files when they couldn't, I think it was from Paperclip, when they were after the tape, the tape couldn't be copied and all that. Like, I didn't know anything specifically other than that.
Yeah, I've worked with all sorts of media, so I'm familiar with DAT.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know much about it, but I think I'm older than you, but I still don't know much about it. So not that that's saying much, but I have no clue. Jen said that she built up a bond with her. I thought she'd be shocked or cry or question it more how she died, and she didn't. Oh, like in general, not just like, okay, I thought she meant just, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't ask how Lottie died. That is a good question, and it does, I agree with you. She said after making Callie suspicious. It does make Callie suspicious. I also think the way Callie acts later in the episode after she like shows that she's keeping the recording, she smiles. Like, I get that she wanted to know what happened, but she seems a little too happy about it. So yeah, she definitely seems suspicious.
She did try to shoot Lottie once.
She did try to shoot Lottie once. Very true.
And Shauna almost killed Lottie too. I don't even know why Lottie's hanging out with these people, really.
Yeah, I don't know that I would hang out with them if I was her. But at any rate, because of all the things like the brakes on Shauna's car, you know, the somebody following her and all that, that they're worried. So she tells them to pack, and they're gonna go off to the hotel. No, wait, okay, Jen says it was like she wanted to know if they thought it was her. Oh, if they wanted, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Definitely makes sense. I think this was in reference to the end scene, but Sam said, how do you like your people? I was like, fine, well done. Yeah, okay. Oh, well, that gave me a good chuckle. All City says, why would anyone want to be around Shauna ever in their lifetime? She's vile. Yeah, we know Shauna's the worst. We agree. No, yeah, I wouldn't want to be around any of these people. I'd be afraid to, most definitely.
I really want to see Shauna and Jeff's wedding. I hope that we see that eventually.
Maybe even just like a videotape of it.
Yeah.
So we go to, let's see if I can get this to, I don't know if it'll go over here or not. I guess it will. We go to the wilderness, and Coach is still tied up. And again, why are they like tying him up? He can't run away. Are they just like trying to be extra mean to him?
Yeah. It's not fair. Poor Coach.
I think it's fair. I feel bad for him. I think they should at least quit tying the poor guy up. It's not like he is going to hobble his way away. He can't.
Just crawling. He would have to crawl somewhere.
And I'm sure that he couldn't crawl far enough in the little amount of time he has before they wake up or whatever. They could go anywhere. Or at least like tie his foot or something so he doesn't like can have his hands free. I don't know that it would really make much difference, but it just seems more cruel. I don't know. They're already being cruel though. So she tries to get him to eat food. She says his foot doesn't look infected because she knows what pus looks like. And he questions that he's been spared and says that someone has a bullshit vision and he gets to suffer indefinitely. And she tells him being alive, that's where she's looking at his foot, and says that being alive is better than being dead. And I don't think he agrees with that. He says he's sitting there with the rest of the meat waiting to be carved up. That's not living. And that's when he starts asking her to kill him. And she's like, I'm not going to take away their hope or your hope that we might get home. So that's a no-go. And she tries to get him to eat. And then some time passes. It doesn't really tell how much, but I'm assuming it's like a week or something, because she shows her bringing back different food.
I want to know what these red berries are on the plate. They're not toxic. There's like blackberries, but then there's these really interesting red berries that I don't know what they are.
I don't know. But speaking of, I kind of wonder, like, wouldn't it have been easier if she wanted to kill him to poison him, because she could have done it and nobody would have known it was her? That to me would have made more sense, but it's a TV show.
Or anybody like Akilah has knowledge of plants and
anybody.
I mean, if somebody could be sympathetic, it'd probably be Misty or Akilah with their knowledge of plants.
Yeah. They couldn't have proved who did it at any rate.
Yeah.
But he wants her to bring a knife or even a gun, and she's like, what am I supposed to say? I tripped and shot you. And he's like, well, take me down to the stream or whatever, because he needs to bath and he can have an accident. But she's not willing to do it there. She gave him some salad or something. So she's getting upset, and she does say it smelled and he does need a bath, but she's upset that he hasn't eaten. And this is where he starts saying that he set the fire. He was trying to kill Nat specifically. And I think this right here, proves he didn't do it. Because if he did, he would have told a true story instead of making up shit to scare her. Right. And she doesn't believe him. And she's like, no, I don't believe you. And it's not going to work. And it's not going to make me kill you. So he finally gives up and, just tries to get her to help. But he's crying a bit in this one scene here. But I think this is where, she runs out and runs into Jen, and she says, somebody else is going to have to bring him his food, because she's done.
And I really like all those scenes too, because it shows time passing without exposition, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
You can tell a good amount of time has passed.
Yeah. Okay.
But then Jen doesn't get to Jen doesn't have to do it.
Yeah, Jen doesn't want to do it either. But somebody's gonna get stuck doing it. Ben lying to Nat about saying the fire was heartbreaking. It was, but I think it was, I don't know, to me it was a little less so, just because she knew right away that he was lying. And I appreciated that she knew, and they didn't go into like a drawn out. But it was sad. He's trying to do anything he can to get away.
At least like Coach didn't ask Misty again to kill him, like to throw him off the cliff like last season.
Yeah, I wonder why. Maybe he thinks if she kills him, she'll torture him more. I don't know.
I guess it's because she like cried like so. I mean, that scene was so heartbreaking with Misty too.
At the end, I think
because the baby and Crystal had died in that season, and she was just, don't make me do this kind of a thing.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, even in the end of this, it's heartbreaking. I think she cared about him in her own twisted way. AA says they should have given him one of their huts, especially after Akilah's vision. And they could have. I mean, couldn't they have at least tried to make him a little more comfortable? He's not running away. Like, you got what you wanted. Why keep torturing the poor guy? Of course he's not going to eat. Of course he's going to want to die. Like, it's kind of common sense he's going to try to die. But he ain't going anywhere. You could at least try to be nice to him, but I don't think they know how. All City says rip Crystal. I was going to say, I think, Scarlet, you still don't even know if you believe Crystal's real, right?
Yep, not real. No body, no crime. No body, no friend.
I still wouldn't be surprised if she showed up or something later. I mean, in real life, she would have been long dead, but it's a TV show.
Well, people thought that she might be Javi's friend.
Yeah, I know. That before, but since Javi's
was
gone, I don't know that they'll bring that back up. I don't know.
Yeah. It was a theory anyway.
No, I know it was. Let's see. Let me go here. Sorry.
I mean, who knows? She might not have the adult timeline if she survived.
Yeah, that's why I kind of wish they hadn't said that line at the end of the episode. And you're right, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. But that line to me means that as far as they know, there was no other survivors. So I take it that the majority...
They don't know anything, Jamie. They didn't know.
No, you're right. They don't know anything.
They said a collective ambiguous others in the first season. The others don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not going to be a whole bunch of people suddenly show
Yeah,
up.
I mean, Misty had Van's number, but Ty didn't know where she was. You know, it's like they don't know what's going on.
I guess that's true. So, like, maybe one of them could have connected with them, and they're like, "Don't call me ever again." I guess
Yeah,
it's a possibility. I just feel like since they said that, we're not going to suddenly find out that there's a lot of the girls that
yeah,
survived. I
finding
think
out a
if
lot of them.
somebody survived, there's one, maybe two,
Yeah,
probably more like
yeah, I
one.
think the same. Yeah,
Which I just think kind of stinks because I like the idea if like every season they revealed like one of the girls that survived. I thought that was kind of cool. How
they
we
might
found
do. They
out
might
that
do that. They might find a
later.
way.
I guess, yeah, if they find a way, it would be cool. Jen says, I think everyone was afraid to be nice to him because of scary Shauna. Yeah, that's a good point. And Jen in this episode, I just want to say is really mean. Like she pushes Natalie and she's on the Shauna bandwagon. I want to ask the actress about that, like about the idea that she's so easily
Yeah.
jumping in with the bullies. And yeah, because she was mean in this episode, and usually she's not necessarily. She seems to be more of a follower.
I feel like there's a strange dynamic that almost like Melissa and Shauna are like the new Jackie and Jeff, and Jen's like the Shauna.
Jen's like, wait, say that again. Jack,
You know,
like
at the beginning there was Jackie and
Yeah.
Jeff, but Shauna was jealous and slept with Jeff, not Jack.
Yeah. So
But now I feel like there's almost a thing where there's like here now Melissa and Shauna are together, but Jen's jealous. And it's almost a dynamic where she's the Shauna now.
Okay. That made sense. I was trying to figure out why you were saying Ben was Shauna. No, I was just in my head trying to wrap my head around what you were saying.
Because she always she repeats lines that Melissa says, and
yeah. Well,
I think she just really wants to belong with her best friend, and I don't know, maybe her best friend's girlfriend.
No, but you're right. That is like what Shauna did a lot with Jackie. So I hadn't really thought about that. AA says it's odd because Crystal isn't in the team picture at the reunion in the glass case where the Yellowjacket stuff is. I did not know. That's really interesting. Yeah, that would make me side with maybe not, because whether she was survived it or not, she should have been in the picture. Although I think some of the people were separate pictures, but I think they were the ones that weren't part of the original team. Unless maybe she was junior varsity or something.
Well, yeah, because she is junior varsity. I don't know how that really works because you're supposed to have 11 members of the team. So are they small enough of a town they have to have a few JV people in there?
Yeah, well, if she was junior varsity as well, it would make sense because I remember Akilah's picture was separate. So
because I ran cross country in high school and it was a small town and we didn't have enough people to fill out the varsity, so we would take a couple JV people to meets and stuff.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I don't know. I never played sports, so I don't know how they. I'm not helpful. Sorry.
Well, they need 11 players, nonetheless.
No, yeah, I got that, but I don't know beyond that.
Yeah.
So they're talking about they're going to have to survive the winter, and Ty says that they're prepared with first food and shelter, and she couldn't think of enough one. She's like, "Are nuts?" And then this is also funny. Whenever Mel and Shauna go past, I think I took a picture. Yeah. And Van says, "Does Mel have to wear Jackie's clothes when they make out?"
That's what I'm saying.
That was awful. No, but she does. Ty does say that she definitely makes Shauna makes Mel call her Shipman. But Ty tells her she has to be nice. They're not hurting anybody, and she says that Shauna seems better with Mel there. I don't know. I think Shauna seems worse with Mel there. If you ask me. Yeah, I'm not so sure.
She's got a co-conspirator.
Yeah, exactly. So then we go to the present time. So that's still them talking.
Yeah.
So we're in the present time, and Misty is talking to this guy. I think his name was Carl.
Carl Edgewood.
Carl Edgewood. Okay, and this
is interesting because the guy who died, the waiter guy, his last name was Pines, and this guy's last name is Edgewood.
Yeah, we just
funny.
Want to put a lot of wilderness references. Yeah, no, that's funny. Yeah. So this is a genealogy place. It kind of surprises me though that she brought the DNA to a genealogy place. Like, I would think it would have been easier to talk like the coroner or whatever into doing the test. So I don't know. It was just a little strange to me. Like the genealogy, like she gave him what, the dirt under
Mhm.
Natalie's fingernails. So he can
Lottie's.
pull up, I guess, her, her DNA and her genealogy. But I don't know. That just to me seems more like a test that the cops should have ran or the coroner's office should have ran, but maybe it would have been easier to get caught. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
it's under Lottie's fingernails, not Natalie's.
or not, sorry, Lottie's.
Yeah,
No.
but I think Carl has a little crush though, so she can
Oh yeah,
exploit
Carl
that.
definitely has a crush, so that's helpful to her. And she
I don't
uses
think the
him.
coroner was as as
The coroner,
you
she
know.
was just blackmailing, basically.
Yeah.
But she sort of flirts with this guy to get him to do it, and he agrees to do it. Then he's like, "Does the police know you have this?" And she's already long gone by the time he starts asking questions.
Yeah.
I love this.
It's like, is this from a murder?
Yeah, is this a murder? Should I be worried? Yes, you should be. I mean, he doesn't say that, but yes, you should be worried. No, this is where. Hold on, as I talk, I'm gonna.
Missy should have dated him. Why doesn't she date him?
Yeah, I don't know. She could have. Hold on.
She could make Walter jealous.
Sorry. Sometimes I think I do when I do this. I don't know what it is. It's something about doing the podcast. It gives me a headache when I do it. So I'm always taking I know I'm always popping when I'm on camera.
Yeah.
So Walter texts her and says, well, people can read that. Where's Shauna?
Mhm.
What did you say to her? Hold on, give me 1 second. Write this down before I forget. She's not answering the text, but she tells him it's her investigation and to back off. She calls him an ass face. I think she said it out loud, not on the phone. Yeah, and she says, put that in your pipe and smoke it, Sherlock. Now, he said Moriarty to your Sherlock, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She got that a little backwards there.
Yeah, I don't think she remembers that.
Yeah, no, I don't think she does either.
I think it's going to come back on her eventually. Sorry.
Yeah. No, what'd you say? You think it'll come back on her?
Yeah, I think Walter has the evil nature that might come back on her eventually.
Yeah, definitely.
Because his grandmother killed his grandfather, so it might run in the family.
Yeah, I know a lot of people think Walter's sus. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not sure. And I told you earlier, I think a lot of people now think that Walter's related to those birders, and we don't know that, but I know that's a theory going around.
Mm-hmm.
Back to what we were saying before, AA says Melissa's just happy she's king right now. That is true. And I'm saying she. AA is a female, right? I think. I forget for sure. If you're not, I apologize. I can't remember who everybody is sometimes. Says Walter is definitely the bird watcher's kids. So they agree at any rate with that theory. I don't know. I think I feel like you did with what you said to me earlier, I'm guessing is what you meant. I feel like it's always like, this person's Martin. Like, I just don't want to go there. It's too many things trying to make people related to other
like
people.
All the people I'm from are related to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Walter is Walter, and I will go by that until I've been told otherwise. So let's see.
I think I think people always want a good revenge plot,
Yeah, no, they do. It's just I want to see something different, And so far, this show has mostly surprised me, so it's been pretty good. Anyway,
definitely surprised me then with this one.
Yeah, I know, I agree. Me too. But anyway, my point is it does reference Sherlock, but not Moriarty. So I don't know if that was meaning that, he is bad or not. Chris said, I think Walter's playing the long game with the adult Yellowjackets, and there's a connection yet unrevealed as to why he's doing it. That makes more sense to me than saying he's necessarily related to somebody, but there could be a reason why he wants to know. I mean, he could be anybody, but it could just be maybe he became obsessed with the Yellowjackets for whatever reason. I mean, they were all over the news. He doesn't seem like he's exactly a stable person. So I don't know.
He's got a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah. And yes, his license plate does say not Walter.
Not Walter.
I thought at first when they had that scene that was supposed to be Misty's plate when she was following Misty. It was even funnier that it's Walter's plate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I gotta move the skin. Sorry. I know I make that jerk. It's when I move the windows around. So they get to the hotel and he's asking her what's going on, and she's basically not telling him anything. But she says she doesn't know what's in the tapes or even how to play them, and he wants the truth. And yeah, I don't think he looks totally convinced right here, but he tells either way, they think that it might be connected to something back then that happened, and they know somebody's coming after her, or at least they think so. But she's worried that one of them will get hurt, and she says she'll take care of it, but he needs to trust her, and he wants her to trust him. So they have a little heart to heart, and they both say they trust each other, and they won't tell each other everything, even though they say that. But this is when she starts saying, "Oh, I feel a little dizzy." And we so knew that was put on, right?
Well, let me tell you what I thought originally here, and I think I mod at Faye Fires. She has a Monday morning the Yellowjackets podcast, and she's determined to think that Shauna's an Earth Mother is impregnated by Adam. And when she stood up and she was dizzy, I'm like, oh my God, she's pregnant. She's pregnant with Adam's baby. Aaron will be so pleased. But then it was a put on, and it was upsetting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how long has been the timeline since she slept with Adam?
Like 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Oh, it hasn't been that long. Okay, then, yeah, I guess it would possibly be. Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about
that theory's been floating around for a while that she's pregnant with Adam's kid.
Yeah, surprisingly, I haven't seen that theory. I'm sure it is prevalent, but I just haven't happened to see it. I don't know. Today, all I saw was stuff about the bird watchers and about Walter being. Excuse me. Jen says the bird watcher's name is Edwin, played by Nelson Franklin. Walter's father name was listed 2 days ago on Internet Movie Database, but now it's removed. All I remember is it started with an E. Let me ask you, Jen, if that's the case, though, how do you know it was his father? Did it say like Walter's? Because if it had the character's name.
I didn't even know the bird watching name was Edwin, because in the credits they don't list those people as anything. Joe McHale's not even listed, and Ashley Sutton and Nelson Franklin are just listed by name, not by role.
Yeah, I don't know. They sometimes update, but everyone's pregnant.
Plus, I don't trust IMDb. Like, since they told me that, Isla Shawkat from Arrested Development was going to be in all the episodes of Severance second season.
Yeah.
I don't trust it.
Right. I guess I was confused that it said his relationship and the character's name. Usually it would say Walter's father or a character's name. That's why I was confused how
it would have his last name.
But maybe it was before it said Walter's father and she changed. I don't know. But yeah, go ahead and put it in Discord. We'll check it out later. Thank you, Jen. I would not trust the Internet Movie Database. It is often wrong. I do see people update it when they get more information, but truthfully, it's updated by fans most of the time. It's not accurate.
It's hard to update that. I can't even update stuff from my own short films on IMDb.
Yeah, I don't know how easy it is
forever.
To update, but
it takes forever. It's on the green light system. You have to get a green light every time you put it in. They give you a red light or a yellow light, then you have to try to get it to the green light. Right, resubmitting information over and over and over again. So I don't think it's as easy as what people think.
Well, I guess the idea isn't it that it's easy, it's that anybody can do it. So they can have false information and put it in. And that's why a lot of times it has, people are in an episode and they're not. And I know at the beginning of the season, a lot of times it'll just now list them as being in every episode, and it doesn't necessarily mean that. I don't know. The only thing I can ever do, which I always forget to do before we come on, although I guess it sounds like, honestly, people seem to have access to it, I guess just not the download without being a member, because I see lots of times people posting about the Paramount Press site, but if there's a press release or something, but I don't see anything. Let me see what it says. Latest releases. That's about the latest release they have officially on their site is about the trailer. So that's not really helpful at all with, and they have the photos from this episode. So yeah, at least officially there's not anything you'd have to look, in an interview. And unfortunately I don't have screeners or anything, so I have no idea. I cannot help you there. Uh, let's see, because I mean, I was going to say, because that's something really that's probably not exactly a spoiler, but I don't have the answer to it, even try to answer you.
I always
But
say take it with a grain of salt because
yeah, you really can't, you really don't know. But anyway, she says she's dizzy. He says he'll get her something from the snack machine, and you know that she's totally, trying to get away from him, which she does, and she calls the van. I think it would have been a lot easier in this case just to tell him the damn truth.
Why would
I
that
don't
be
know
easier,
why.
Jamie? Why would
I
you tell the
know.
truth easy in any of these cases?
No, I know, but I just feel like in this instance, like I'm not sure what benefit lying to him did, other than made them worry where she was going. Like she ended up telling them in the end, "Oh, I talked to Van." Like, so why not just say, "I'm calling Van because she works at a video store and she might be able to play the video." She could still keep him away from seeing the video. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems a little strange to me. It seemed like it wasn't the
maybe
smartest.
she was afraid of what was on it.
Yeah.
Maybe Jeff doesn't even know, even though he read her journals.
And then again, maybe she didn't intend to actually tell him that she was talking to Van, and she changed her mind at that moment, I guess.
Yeah.
Would be a possibility. But he knows that she's eaten people, potentially murdered people. I don't think that he's going to find something else that scares him anymore. I assume that whatever happened was in the journals, unless this is something maybe she never journaled about, would make me think.
I don't think she journaled about this.
Yeah. So she calls Ty, which I find really funny. Like, instead of calling Van, she calls Ty. She's like, "I know Van's with you." Did she even try to call Van?
I think Van's kind of like off the grid with these people. I mean, she's kind of like not exactly involved with the group.
Like I just thought it was funny because she immediately calls Ty. She's like, "I know she's there." And so she does go and get Van. And they're at this, I guess, a spa. I don't know if it's like a rich hotel or a spa. It's probably a spa, but obviously Ty's using her money there. And she says, hold on, I lost where I'm at here. She tells her she has the cassette tape, and that with her having the tape store, she would know how to play it. And that it's a DAT tape. Well, she doesn't say it's a DAT tape. She says it says DAT.
Yeah.
Which we've established. And she says she can find a player to play it, but Shauna's like, "No, this is an emergency. You need to bring it to the Jolly Hitcher now."
Yeah, but the fun thing that Van says about it is that it's a type of tape that's only used by weird garage bands and super intense bird watchers.
Yeah,
and I know by seeing a lot of indie bands that a lot of indie bands like to use really weird formats.
Yeah,
they're hard to get.
Yeah, and when we get to that scene too, I do have a comment on it, but I'll wait till we get to that point.
Yeah.
But she tells her it's an emergency, and I think this is where Ty jokes and says, "Oh, the curse continues," because they've been going after Shauna, except somebody really has. But Van gets upset because Ty's just like completely ignoring everything, going to get food and tons of food, and she's like, "Did I somehow knock you up?" And
see, there's another reference to that.
I was going to say, let's go back to what Austin said. Everyone is preggers.
And there's so much meat. You almost expect that Ty's not Ty here. There's so much meat.
Ty was a vegetarian. She said it in that. Remember at that party, she didn't want meat. I thought because she was a vegetarian.
She spit it out.
Yeah. So the fact that she's eating meat makes me think it's dark Ty. But I think the fact that she's just like so, gung ho about everything is what also makes her dark Ty, Issa, whatever you want to call her. But
Sleepy time Ty.
What is it?
Some other streaming things calls her Sleepy time Ty.
Sleepy time Ty. That's funny. But Van, she tells them to leave the room service. She's like, "What is wrong with you? Our friend's dead." Even Shauna is upset. You are not upset. You're just acting like everything's just fine. And all you care about is self-care. And she does say that, and this part feels believable, but I mean, I just still think it's dark Ty, so I don't know that I believe it. But she says that, she lost her family, she lost her career, Lottie Nat, and now, Van's battling cancer. So she feels like everything's falling apart. And basically she just wants to ignore everything and feel something good in order to feel something. And, Van says she understands living in the moment, but their friend's scared. They need to help her. And that's when she says, where do you get who uses DAT tapes? And that's what she says, weird garage bands and super intense murders. Now, when she says that, I thought that Van, after she said that, got this look like, oh shit, what if it's to do with that? Did you not think she got an odd look when she said about intense murders?
like she might be thinking about bird watchers in her
Yeah,
head.
it's
Yeah.
not necessarily that she knows what's on the tape, but she's just like, oh,
Yeah.
something bad is happening to Shauna, and now what if it has to do with them? Is more like kind of where I think it.
Because I mean, she
thought
might
process.
not even know there was a tape, because that could be a mysterious thing that somebody found. But she could remember those bird watchers,
Right,
you know,
right.
way back when in the 90s.
Well, all she knows is she has a tape she's scared of, but
Yeah.
you know, the mention of bird watchers gets her, so
Mhm.
it's something there. Okay, let's see. Chris says, I got so hungry listening to all that food. Well, it's definitely all meat. Well, lobster
Mhm.
seafood. The rest is all meat. So let's see. Samuel says dark tie has taken over Ty's body for sure. I think everybody at this point thinks that,
Mhm.
that it's dark tie. And I think this episode proves it with the
Mhm.
whole phone call and the whole
Mhm.
waking up in the middle of the night. I think that, at least to me, that was proof that she's definitely at this point dark tie. Probably has been dark tie for a long time.
Yeah.
But she gets Van talks her into going to help. Ow, I gotta go back to this. Sorry, it blinks every time I do that.
Yeah.
So back in the wilderness, I didn't say on the island. This
Thank
is
you.
where this is where Travis says to Akilah that he asked if she's seen anything new in her visions, and she's like, oh, you know, they're all different messengers. The messages are for everybody.
Yeah.
I feel like he almost, and I wanted to know if you thought the same thing too, but I feel like at this point he was almost trying to tell her the truth.
Yeah.
Like
He feels some
almost wanted to
guilt.
say I made it up, but he's scared
Mhm.
to. So
Yeah.
yeah,
He definitely
he
feels
does.
guilt in that situation,
Yeah.
which is good. Which is good.
That's definitely a good thing. There she is with her little bunny. That bunny is so cute.
Yeah.
miss
I
her.
forgot to ask
I like
Nia
cute
what
pet
the
bunnies.
I forgot to ask her what the names of these rabbits were. That she
Yeah, that would have been nice to know. I never thought to ask that.
yeah.
Too bad she couldn't stay a bit longer, but you know,
Yeah.
maybe we'll be able to have her come back again sometime. Who knows? But they are cute. Yeah, don't say they're gonna. If you mean the bunny, all city, they're not gonna eat the bunny. Not now, anyway. They will not
No,
eat
they
the
got
bunny.
plenty of human meat to eat
They
with the
don't. They
bird
don't need the
watchers.
bunny right now. It's a cute little bunny. I don't see. I have a problem. I think more with the bunny. I mean, I know obviously I have a problem with all the animal stuff,
Mhm.
but like I have a problem with dogs most of all. But like I had 2 pet bunnies growing up, so I do have a problem with that. It was cute. We had the first bunny we had as like an indoor pet for quite a while. We eventually had to put it outside to stay because its cage because it had like a kennel it slept in at night, but it started to bring rats near the house.
Oh,
so
really?
we had to move it. We had to move it outside in the end, but it was funny. I didn't know you could, until we had a bunny. I didn't know you could actually like teach them, that you can train bunnies.
Yeah.
Because we used to train her with apples, and she would like come to us and stuff like a dog. It was cute, but yeah, eventually we did have to get rid of her.
I thought you said I thought you were gonna say that you had to let your bunny outside because they usually eat cords and stuff. They like to nibble like everything.
No, I'm trying to remember. I take back part of what I said. I think that we had to get rid of her completely because of the rat problem, because it was bringing rats to the outside to the cage because it was
weird.
near our like the shed. But I don't remember if that was why we had to put her outside because something happened, unless it was just an allergy thing. Because me and my mom are allergic to what do you call it? The stuff you put down for them to piss in. I can't think of what it's called.
Like the pellets, like litter pellets?
Litter, because
Yeah.
you know how litter has like a perfumey odor.
Yeah.
So it might have even just been it was starting to bother us. I can't remember, but she ended up outside instead, and then we found like we were getting rats near it. So yeah, it did not. Rats aren't good if you're not in the wild and need to eat them. They're not good coming around your house. And we had a dog too. We didn't want the rats to hurt the dog. Okay, sorry, I got sidetracked, people.
That's fine.
Yeah. Let's see. Samuel said, oh, sorry, that was about what they were saying. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wilderness babies.
Yeah, the wilderness babies. See, I got to start watching interviews and reading more about the cast. You've been following this show for a lot longer than I have, so you know, like I don't even know half their names, and that's really bad. I should. I know my memory sucks, but like I need to learn some of them because I don't know enough.
Like Christina Ricci had to relearn her little waddle walk she did in the first season because she was pregnant.
Yeah, I heard you had said that before. That's funny.
Yeah.
You change when you're pregnant, that's for sure. So let's see. Mari is next. Okay, so she brings Ben's breakfast, and they kind of have, I feel like, would have maybe had a little bit of a moment in the sense that he's like, "Oh, you're coming," and he's like, "Well, it must be bad if you're here." And then she smells him, and I think he was trying to imply that he shit. But
no, I like that he said, "I'm between cleaning ladies."
Yeah. And again, like at least give him like a bucket, right? But the point was he's been hoarding dead, or not dead, of course, dead old meat, and there's like flies on it and that, and it's like getting rancid or whatever. So
I know that we're probably jumping to another scene, but when I first heard flies, I thought that his Achilles tendon was infected. There's bugs in it.
I thought so too, and I was so glad to find out he was just hoarding food. But he's got rotten food, so she tells everybody, "Oh, that's like," and that's stupid because that's just like a simple scene. But I like the way that that shot. Like we were talking about photography the other day. Like that's like the way the camera length looks good. But anyway, she does go and tell them that he is keeping rotten food and he's not eating. And they ask Natalie if she knew about it, and she denies it. She didn't know he wasn't eating, which she kind of did know he wasn't eating, so that was a lie, but which I didn't think of till now. She did know. But Lottie says he can't die. He's their bridge home. And Mari asks Akilah about what else she's seen, and she does say she's seen some things, but they're all like innocent things, like a soccer game or their class at school. And I think it's Ty that says it could be stuff from their past rather than the future. So it doesn't necessarily tell them anything. But I didn't have a picture of her, I guess, there. But it's almost winter. They need to get him to eat. And Lottie says she might have an idea. Then in the present, I just want to say, I do like the way they do the text so you can read them on the screen. I know shows do them different, but I like it. Okay, wait, let's go back. I'm going to just put this back on while we go through a couple of questions before we go through to the next scene.
Okay.
Weren't both actresses that play Misty pregnant during or right before filming? Yes, and that is a cool coincidence. Must be fun to be, not fun to be pregnant, but if you're pregnant, to be fun while you're if you are already pregnant, it would be fun if your castmates are pregnant. There we go. I got it out, but that is a cool coincidence. And All City says that's why the son walked away. He knew it was tree tie. Tree tie, that's a new way. But yeah. I think
tree tie is good too.
Tree tie is good too. Yeah, I think that we kind of established that that's what we thought when we talked about it last time. That he hasn't been seeing her for a while. See, and I was originally, I told you, I was a little confused by that scene because the fact that he asked her if she was going to be coming back, I thought he was saying to like his real mother, "Why are you not back?" And I guess I didn't listen to exactly what he said well enough because I was confused. But yeah, you said that you think maybe it's been Dark Tide all season, right? Or since the end of season 1 or the end of season 2. I can't remember what she said.
Yeah, ever since they did the wild hunt or tried to hunt Shauna.
Okay, the end of season 2, yeah. It definitely could be. I think this episode proves it is. How long, I don't know. Did all of Ben's unused rations that he found in the cave go unused now? Huh.
Probably.
I didn't think about that. Probably. There could be more of those crates, too, that have even more food. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering why he was eating bat when he had the rations. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I didn't know if eating the bat was he didn't want to give it to share with Mari, or I don't know, because I don't think he could have eaten it all that fast. Maybe he just wanted to make her eat a bat. I don't know. But that is a good question.
Yeah, just wanted her to eat a bat. Funny.
Yeah, just to be mean. I don't know. All City says Misty has the best cat attire. She doesn't have any on here, but she does. She has a lot of good. Oh, speaking of, I saw a post on, I'm sure you know this, but I saw a post on Facebook, I guess some of the stuff in the official store, I guess, was sold out because I started getting advertisements that like they have new Yellowjacket stuff in at the Paramount store. It's too bad it's going to be hot because I kind of wanted to get a sweatshirt, and I'm like, by the time the sweatshirt gets in, it's going to be 70 every day, and I'm not going to be able to wear it.
Yeah, I have one of the necklaces.
Yeah, the necklace is kind of cool. Well, the necklace though may mean something bad. I'd prefer not to get.
But it makes it really easy Halloween outfit. You put that on, you put on some heliotrope colored clothing, and you're ready to go.
Yeah,
ready to rock.
That is true. But yeah, I'd like to get some kind of shirt or something.
Maybe a Fanta. You get a Fanta and hold it.
Can you still buy Fanta? Yeah, I guess you can.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to. I mean, I don't know that it's everywhere, but you probably could. I bet Mari's going to hoard all the rations, especially that hot chocolate. She may have, but I would wonder where she would keep it that nobody would notice. But that would be kind of funny if we found out.
Isn't it in the cave? Couldn't they find it?
You know what I want to know, and we're never going to find out because he's dead. They never outright explained, in my opinion, like if he had blocked off part of the cave because he knew that it had the poison, because they pulled down rocks. So there's a possibility that he knew, oh, don't go there. And he fixed it, and he never intended them to get hurt. And when he found out they were being poisoned, that's why he came and saved them. Or it could be that he pulled it down to, it was a trap. Or it could just be that he didn't even know about it until that happened. I would like to know more about that.
or it could be the wilderness.
Yeah, it could just be the wilderness. That's the answer to everything, right?
Yep.
I was just going to say, because I didn't even do this at the beginning. I always forget when we get a guest, I start talking to the guest and forget to like do the full intro. I always do that. We have gone over the 1 hour mark now. For those of you that are still with us, we appreciate it. But please make sure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I did add the new video to the Yellowjackets playlist, so you can find it nice and easy. And of course, under our live tab and our video tab, we have other interviews as well. And like I said before, I'm going to have to lose my place in my thing to look up the date. It's at the top of the page. I think it's a 20. Actually, that was in my other file. The 27th, is that what I said? I don't want to say the wrong date.
Yeah, it's Thursday, March 27th.
March 27th. Okay. On the 27th, it said, thank you. I wasn't sure because I had it written down in the file. The 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have Vanessa Prasad, who plays Jen, is going to do a live stream like we did today with Nia. So make sure you guys come back for that, and we will continue to try to get more guests. Yeah. So that's about it. And also, if there's anybody out here who's listening that has a Yellowjacket show, we'd love to collab on that as well. And like we did last week, that was fun. So yeah,
don't be shy.
But yes, please come look at, comment on the video, help the algorithm, that kind of thing.
Join the Discord. Comment there.
Join the Discord. I did, as usual, I pasted and pinned the Discord link because every Thursday night at midnight, I guess it's technically Friday, when Yellowjackets drops, we do a watch party. And then we also do one on Sundays before this live stream. Usually this live stream is at 11, I think we had been doing, but now obviously we're doing 7 because of the interview. And is next week? No, next week we'll probably be back to a different time. But if you look at Discord, we'll have all that scheduled, and you can find out when that is. But yeah, every Sunday. All right, now I got to find out where the hell I was because I lost. Yeah, no, I know.
The driver comes up.
No. I meant my text file. I had scrolled to the top to look for that. No, I lost it. It's okay. So Walter's, whoops, I went too far. Walter is sending her texts, apologizing, and says he has a peace offering. And he has brought his guy in his limo. This guy has a lot of money that he just, sends a limo like this. But he brings her the garbage bags that were from Lottie's father's apartment. Now, we had commented on this like when we first saw them. I think that wasn't a surprise that they're going to be looking.
Well, there was also, when they show photo stills, there was a photo still of Misty looking through garbage.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that
you knew eventually it happened.
Yeah, we knew it was coming. So yeah, that's where he says he kind of appeals to her investigator side and tries to butter her up, so she'll take them.
I think it's funny. A limo comes up and delivers some trash and drives away.
Yeah, that was kind of an odd thing to use a limo for. But, it's Walter.
Yep.
Back in the wilderness, Misty is kind of upset that Lottie thought of what to do for Coach first, because she starts saying she failed him and all this. But Natalie tries to talk to her and is like, are you sure that it was not a mistake keeping him alive? And I don't know why I have Travis. Oh, okay, that was after she walked away. She's trying to see if she can get Misty to agree with her that, it's clear that she's thinking of killing him. Why looks like my chat isn't updating? Okay, it's okay. But yeah, I think that maybe she thought Misty would agree with her, and Misty is definitely not agreeing with her because she doesn't want to lose Coach, and she's like, no way, I saved him before, I'll save him again. And I do think that at a certain point, Misty must realize she was right, because she clearly has forgiven Nat in the present. I mean, she was even sort of, as much as Misty can be friends with anybody, sort of friends with Misty. So I assume at some point she forgives her for that. But this is where Travis comes up to her and tries to kind of hint that maybe he lied about Akilah.
Yeah, I have in my notes Travis realizing he's a jerk.
That too, yeah. But he's like, well, Lottie said a bunch of stuff before, and after that we got like a bear and dead birds, so maybe Akilah's just spouting off a bunch of bullshit. What would that mean, or does it matter? And he realizes he can't really say anything, and he kind of glosses over what he said, but he was going to tell her. He wanted to tell her, and he should have told her, but he didn't.
Do you think those crazy kids will ever get back together?
Maybe at some point before they leave. Yeah. Back in the present, this is where Van looks for the DAT player. And when she finds it in a box, and she also finds, it's hard to see there, but an old see-through, I guess 90s, I think they were in the 90s, vintage corded
phone.
Yeah, it's where you can see all the guts of the phone. And it rings, and of course it's not connected to anything. So is she hallucinating? Is she getting a message from the great beyond? No, I know she's not, but it's supposed to be Ty is who she thinks it is, asking for help. And this is where I said, whether she's really hearing it, I don't know, but it's definitely insinuating that Ty is trying to get her help. So yeah, and she sort of doesn't know what to make about it. But Ty
I also like to point out that the DAT player has a record button.
Wait, it has a recording. What do you mean?
It has a record button on it, because some people are like, oh, you can't have a personal handheld DAT. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but you can't record over them, I thought. Maybe you can record once. I don't know.
Oh, that's weird. I thought they were
I know you can't copy them. Like, you can make copies from other things onto DAT, but at least according to X-Files. That you can't copy them. That's the extent of my knowledge. I just remember that was like a big thing. Like
I just know they're known for their clarity. Therefore, bird watchers and bands would also use them.
Yeah,
for the fidelity.
Yeah. But anyway, so Ty comes in. Oh, she hears static too, and I wrote on the distorted woman's voice. She thinks it's Ty asking for help. Then Ty comes in and asks her about the box cutter. She tells her she found the tape player, so she found what they needed. And then we go to Misty. Now, I had said the other week, was it last week? I remember saying something to you. I said that, her father mentioned a Chinese restaurant. Yeah. And for whatever reason, it seemed important to me at the time.
I wonder if he got food for him and Shauna at this bamboo cafe.
Oh, he probably did after, but I think she had taken off by that time. Yeah. But this is where she Googles it, and she's like, why would she go to this restaurant that has an awful rating, bad health rating, and no vegetarian options? So that wouldn't be the case. I'm going to, why we're here, because I always forget to do it until the very end, and then it's like too late for anybody. I'm going to put the StreamYard link in the chat. If anybody wants to call in and tell us what you think and kind of share your thoughts, feel free. All I ever ask is, if you haven't been chatting with us and we don't know who you are, tell us in the chat that you're going to call, because we have had issues. So we need to know who you are. But
just say in the chat who you are. If you have a Discord handle, we know. Just put it in the chat.
If you have what your YouTube handle, or not YouTube. I don't know what it comes by when they join in. But either way, let us know what it's going to say and who you are and that you're calling, so we know you're not going to just post porn.
Or at least tell us that. You know,
yes, or at least tell us that. Yeah, we want to be careful. That's all. So Natalie, I guess, goes to this fast food place, and I don't know if she. I guess she ordered food for her to deliver. I wasn't sure at first. Like, I think right now she just sees she's a delivery girl, but I think she ordered something from her after to get her to come. But you know, she sees Lisa works there, and Lisa is from the cult that Natalie had.
I was so happy to see her.
Yeah, it was good.
I shouted for joy when I saw her. That was the second surprise. I mean, the last surprise was a big surprise, but I was so happy to see Lisa.
Yeah, she was a good character. She definitely was a good character. So then we go back to them at the hotel, and they're watching.
Yeah, but didn't she knock over her bike, or was that later?
Not yet. That's later.
Okay.
That's later. Yeah, that's later. I don't know why I took this picture instead of picture of the thing that said it was like Repo Wives or something.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
But I did take
all this extra material is funny.
Yeah, this is what I think is hilarious. Whoops, I'm circling the wrong file, where it says "not gonna tell" as the boat name or whatever in the episode, because obviously that's you know, a reference to in the show that they're not telling. Also, he says, "I miss Lisa," so he likes Lisa too. Jason says, so funny. I'm not sure if Jason means this show on the TV or Lisa, because Lisa's kind of funny too, but probably means
or anything else we've been talking about.
Or anything else we've been talking about. But
Van has some good funny lines.
Well, it's within the last minute. The show. He meant the show on the TV. Yeah.
Oh,
I just like.
Oh, that show is funny. Because they're like, not my boat, no.
Yeah, it's not going to tell. You know, I don't know. We watch these, and I feel like I do this with all the shows now. I'm always like stopping and pausing and not getting done shows, because I'm like, wait, what's on the TV? What's hanging on the wall? I've been like, I need to know. Why is this important? It's not important. Okay. So Repo Divorcees was the name of the show. She finally admits that she talked to Van and that she's going to go find out what's on the tape. And Callie wants to go, and she says that she has to. Jeff wants to go too, and she says that Jeff has to stay with Callie. And that was kind of my point. Like, she could have told him before she was calling Van, because she ended up telling him after. But maybe she didn't plan to. I don't know.
I have in my notes, Jeff Shauna tried to parent.
Yeah, she says he has to stay with her because she, you know, needs somebody or is weak or whatever, but they need to take care of her, and they haven't been doing a great job. So you're right. They're trying to parent. Chris says the show within a show reminds me of the same thing they did on Twin Peaks, with many characters watching a soap opera. Yeah.
Invitation to Love was the name of the soap opera.
That's cool.
And they had twins. They had twins, like a good twin and an evil twin named Jade and Emerald.
Were there twins in the regular part of the show too?
Well, technically in a roundabout Hitchcock sort of way, yes. You have to watch it.
I do need to watch it. We need to do a watch party for that. Also, Expose on Lost. You are correct. That was also a show within a show. Although that show was part of what everybody hated. Everybody hated Nikki and Paulo. It's kind of, they're the butt of jokes when it comes to Lost. But she says she's going to go talk to Van, and he wants razzle dazzle. Yeah, you're right. She wants him to stay with her, and
this hotel's really cool looking. I wonder where they shot this.
Yeah, I don't know, but it does work with the show. But she's like, "Oh, okay," and gives her a hug, and she's totally slipping the phone in her purse. I thought she was slipping the phone in her purse to track her. I didn't know she was trying to record her. That was even more sneaky.
Sneaky.
I don't know.
I have sneaky six. Sneaky move, sis.
Did you expect that she was recording her, or did you think what I thought? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, I thought she was tracking her because she was going to track her like maybe on
where's my
Jeff's phone or the computer or something. But it makes a lot more sense to record it.
Yeah, it does. I hadn't thought of that either.
Yeah.
So that's good. So then this is where Misty comes up and she asks Ben to eat. Now, again, I don't like the stuff they did with Ben, but I don't know why they didn't just like threaten him. Like, why not say, instead of just saying, will you eat? And then when he doesn't eat, do what they did. Like, she could have said, hey, if you don't eat, we're going to force food down your throat with a tube.
Element of surprise.
Yeah. And he might have, but it's not like he can really stop them with that many of them.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think that he may have eaten. I don't know. Then again, he may, knowing him, he may have been like, yeah, go ahead. You won't do it. So I don't know. But,
what is she wearing, by the way? What is she wearing on her, her body here?
It's like it looks to me like a space age.
Yeah, I know.
It's weird.
Is a seat of the plane that she just kind of took off and put a head,
maybe,
like a pull for her neck in?
Maybe so she don't get stuff on her. I don't know.
Yeah.
Smock, but he's like, nope, not happening. So she's like, okay, I warned you. And this is where she has pantyhose over his face. And we've seen this, image on.
It's very, very Cannibal Council, as they say.
Yeah. And
I was trying to figure out, because Van's definitely wearing the sweater thing. I didn't know who was the rabbit, because the rabbit's kind of like a motif, but I couldn't figure out who that was.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, it doesn't matter because they're always switching clothes anyway. But
they kind of all end up there helping with. They just don't all have masks on, or they do, and they're just showing them after they took it off. I guess it's not relevant.
I mean, I was guessing the rabbit could be Jen, Murray, or Shauna, but then it wasn't Shauna because I think Shauna was wearing something else.
I don't know why they even had to cover their faces. Like, it's not like he doesn't know who's in the wilderness with them. Like,
maybe it's to shield them from vomit.
I guess, but it's just a weird way to do it. But they shove this. Who has the alligator bracelet? Is that an alligator?
Let's see.
I just happened.
It looks like lizards. Yeah, lizards
of some kind. See, this is what I mean. I'm noticing little things that are probably important. Chris said the smell was awful. It may be. It depends on what they were. I'm not sure what exactly they mashed up.
So is that like a tube for the plane? Like,
I don't know. I know people question where they got the tube. It's something that they maybe from, I don't know, a water filtration system. Who knows? It could have been like that. I don't know. But they take the tube, shove it down his throat. First, they shove something in his mouth, then they shove it down his throat so they can pour stuff through a funnel. And it's cruel. I don't know. Where do they get a lot of the stuff there? But when they are doing this, let's see, Akilah doesn't want to watch it. She's just kind of standing there holding the bunny. And this is where Nat is like, I hope you're sure about this vision or whatever she says, like that effect. And because she obviously doesn't like doing it. Then everybody comes out, and I guess they did all have masks and they took them off. I don't know that it's relevant. The only thing I can say is, were those masks that they had on like the masks that they had on in the opening of the show?
Like, that's what I say. They're like Cannibal Council because one of the girls
so
definitely
might
has
more
the sweater thing.
So it might more be like a clue to knowing who's who in that scene is probably why they did it then.
No, I don't think so though, because they exchanged clothes. I mean, Van's definitely doing the sweater, and like I said before, I think the rabbit was either Jen, Murray, or Shauna. But they made a point. The showrunners made a point of saying the girls always exchange clothing around.
Right, but I don't know that they would change like animal masks around. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I just wondered like what the point to that was, unless it's so you say, oh, well, now we know that Ty is this one in the opening, and Misty is this one.
I don't
like,
think
I felt like maybe that was the point. I don't know. Maybe not. It was just weird.
Yeah.
But they come out. They're all. That actually looks like the one we thought was Ty. What she's holding, doesn't it?
That's a sweater.
Well, yeah, but why is she carrying a sweater unless that's what was wrapped around her head?
She put the sweater over her face. That's her mask. It's part of a sweater.
That's what I meant. But I meant, isn't that this? Wait, we'll go back. Yeah, that's this one. I thought you said you thought that was Ty.
No, Van.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That's why.
That's
then.
okay.
I
because of the shirt. It's a dark green shirt, and Van has dark green shirt.
Okay. The thing that I think is interesting and I wanted to talk about is even Shauna seems visibly upset by this. Were you surprised that she was upset by it?
Yeah, I think she's getting a little mellowed out from, Melissa and her getting it on in their yurt. She's kind of chilling out a little bit.
Maybe, I
She's
guess.
got the
I don't know.
slicker on, though. She's
Yeah,
the slicker on.
Well, yeah, that was maybe smart. No,
Yeah.
I was surprised that it affected her because she seems so like she doesn't care. She wanted to kill him, and she clearly doesn't like hurting him in this scene. It affected her in some way. Was it because it was gross? I mean, maybe it wasn't that it hurt him. I don't know why, but she's affected.
Maybe it's just extreme. Maybe it's too extreme even for Shauna.
Yeah, I think it's like it was too much. Like it's kind of one of those things. I think it's like with what Ty said, like you may say you want somebody dead, but it's not the same thing to actually do it. And maybe as they're actually torturing him, it gets to her. But I don't know, considering she stood there while Melissa sliced his foot and thought that was a good thing. Yeah, I don't know.
I also think that the force feeding through a tube is along the lines of the foie gras and the duck's liver they were talking about in prior episodes.
Yeah,
fatten him up.
Yeah, except he doesn't. Well, I guess they do eat them, so technically.
Yeah.
So technically, but he ends up. Sorry, I have to refresh this. But he ends up throwing up a little bit of blood because of what they did, because they shoved it down his throat.
Yeah.
Let's see. I lost. But Missy had asked Shauna if he kept everything down, and she said we'll get better at it. That was what that last. Yeah. So then Nat goes to see him, and they kind of, are a little he's sarcastic to her, and he says, "Why can't you just let him die?" And she says, "I can't." Yeah. But she doesn't really go into it. But he knows, it sounds like, about the specifically what the vision was. So I'm not sure why she just keeps saying she can't. But I must not have got a picture of it. At this point, this is when Lottie prays to the tree, wanting to know what to do. But then Akilah wants to go and have visions again and wants to see if she missed anything. And then back in the present, let's see. Shauna goes outside the hotel. These are really dark. They're hard to see. And they're going to listen to the DAT tape. Let's see. And somebody at the beginning is just somebody saying testing or whatever. And I don't know if I don't think we hear the screams in that at this point. This is just them getting the tape out, getting the recorder out, that kind of thing. Her playing.
When I record those screaming birds, which I think were the things that were going off at night.
Yeah, maybe. It's hard to tell. They don't sound like birds, but then again, what do I know?
Have you heard some night birds?
I was going to say, what do I know, right?
Noises.
Yeah.
There was some kind of eagle or something where, like, by the nature center where I live, there was just like, it almost sounded like a scream. It was so loud. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really heard. I was just going to put up. It could be. It didn't sound like it to me, but I don't know what they sound like. So, Jason, if it was a rare bird, that might be why the bird watchers were all the way out there.
That makes sense. Yeah, we should look up what rare birds.
Screaming bird song.
Yeah, screaming bird song. Jason says, "I love Shauna's incognito sunglasses at night." You are correct. Wait, was there any? I had scored a couple. Okay, those are comments for at the end. I just saw a couple comments I had stopped. Now I lost my place. There we go. So yeah, that is kind of funny that she wore the sunglasses to hide out. Her
sunglasses at night.
Yeah, they should have played that song, right? I don't know what decade it is, though. It might be the wrong decade.
The 80s.
Yeah. But anyway, this is where Misty goes to see Lisa, and I guess she ordered food from her, it sounds like, to get her to go there. But Lisa's like, you can have the money. Don't want any trouble. Just leave my bike alone. Like, if she hadn't said that, Misty wouldn't have heard her. So Misty pushes the bike over, of course. And
it's funny. It's just funny that she just tips the bike over.
Yeah, like, it's not going to destroy the bike, though. But she wants to find out about Lottie. She thinks Lisa did it. And she's like, she ruined your life in the cult. And she's like, not all. I love this line, though, when she says, not all of us turn trauma into stabby.
Yeah. It's a great line.
It was a great line.
Yeah,
But she
because
mentioned-
when Nat stabbed her with a fork, Lottie gave her a fork to stab Nat back, and she hugged Nat instead. So
Yeah.
she's a good person.
Yeah, no, she is. But she's like, I'll go with you because you're not going to leave me alone. But we have to be out in public. So if you try to murder me, people see it.
Yeah.
And then back in the car, we hear a woman screams no, which when we get to the end, I want to talk about that scream because I don't understand why Lottie screamed. I think it was Lottie screamed there, but it's supposed
I
to
thought
be.
they were all screaming. It sounded like
They were all screaming, but then at the end, right when they came out, somebody screamed no.
I think it's the bird watcher lady. I think they're stabbing her. Talking about stabby.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was one of the girls. It was before the guy said anything. There was like a scream like no, and you can hear it in the scene, and like screaming and like singing was not. It was something different. But at any rate, they can hear what is
it's 43 minutes long, so there's probably a lot of stuff going on.
There probably is, but and I like
we'll
your
probably
idea
see next week.
The next episode, yeah.
That was called Croak.
Yep, we hear women screaming. I mean, I guess it's the girls screaming. That's what they're implying is on the tape is what's at the end of the episode, people yelling. And this is where Van says the only people that know about this are us or are dead. And this was the scene I was referencing earlier. I've said a couple times does that mean that we're not going to see many more people from the wilderness, if any, and that at least are they not aware of anybody else at the very least? So I don't think we're going to continue to see one person each season show up unless they find a different way to do it. Because this to me, I'm not saying that anybody can't come back, but this to me implies that they think the rest of the girls are dead.
But they're they're unreliable narrators, Jamie.
Yeah, well, the other thing, I was going to say the other thing is I guess it's possible like some of the girls could come home and they could have died in the interim too. We don't really know what happened between then, but I mean, I'm sure that there is at least one person, probably more, that's still alive. But that's their comment. And Ty wants to destroy it. Van's like, why? There's going to be another copy. And Shauna's like, they're only threatening me. And Ty asks, you still think Misty's doing it? And she's like, no. She finally admits it, but it came to her house, so it's targeting her. And that's why I have to question, like, why is it targeting her unless it is Melissa? Because if these bird watchers, I assume that they went and I don't know, but I'm assuming they went and killed them so they couldn't tell people what they did. Which, if they never make it home, I'm not sure that it was worth it. But they're, because they're destroying their chance to go home. But if they killed them, why is Shauna in particular the one that they're coming after? If they're even the ones that are threatening her, because I still think it might be Melissa. But again, I think they pushed really hard to make you think it was Melissa, so it might not be. But
there might be some really incriminating evidence on the tape of Shauna going full Shauna.
That's true.
She might be she might have been the instigator. Right.
I just feel like if it's somebody who was actually there, they would have blamed all of them, not just Shauna.
Yeah. Or somebody like, Joe McHale might have made off with the tape.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Jason says it's Lottie. I'm assuming maybe you might think it might be Lottie's screaming or Lottie's death. Because some people said, I forget who said last week, maybe it was Lottie's death on it. I forget who said it. But I think it's established that it's what's happening in the wilderness. But yes, I think it is Lottie who yells no. I'm assuming that's what that.
I thought it was Ashley Sutton's character.
No, he thinks it's her too. I thought it looked like it, but I was running out of time and I couldn't keep watching it, so I finally moved on. It just to me seems strange. Like she was yelling and screaming, and they're singing and they're laughing, and all of a sudden she goes, "No." I almost wondered. I'll tell you my theory at the moment was, but. I don't necessarily think that now, but when I was watching it, I was thinking the fact that Lottie said no, is it possible like these are somebody her father sent to get her? Like, could she know these people? And that's why she's like, no, like, I'm not going with you type of thing. Like, why are they here? Just like kind of a reaction to that. So
I thought it was definitely the birder getting stabbed.
Well, I don't think they stabbed anybody yet. I think that they may be going to kill him. But
that's the end of the tape. It's 43 minutes long. There's some interim in there.
Oh, that's true. They listened to the whole tape.
I mean, I don't know. I have this idea in my head that Croak might be done in real time because
that would be awesome.
43 minutes long. It would be great.
What
but
I
I
want
don't
to
know what's
ask you though is the pieces that we saw. Did we see like did we hear the beginning and then the end? I want to re-listen to
yeah.
this.
hmm
So
Because when
you
it's
think
done, it's 43 minutes on cast.
right. But my question was, did we just hear the end?
Yeah.
Or did we hear the beginning and the end? Because I didn't think that time had passed between.
Yeah, we hear the beginning and then the end, like 43 minutes later.
Right. We are at the beginning when they were testing the tape. But I'm saying
Mhm.
like this particular scene of them pressing play on the tape,
Mhm.
I think was supposed to be like, I don't think time passed in between their time we saw in the car. Do you?
I have to disagree. It's 43
No, no,
minutes.
no, no. I
They
get
put
that.
on the
Right.
thing.
I
She did the
understand that. But
testing.
what
It
I'm
was the birder. And then when the scene comes back, it's at the end of the tape and her yelling no, which I also think is a birder.
okay. I guess what I'm saying, I'm not explaining what I'm saying. I know what you're
Okay.
saying. It's 43 minutes. I agree with
Okay.
you. But
All
what
right.
I'm saying is they showed them in the car pressing play and it had
Mhm.
somebody testing the tape, like saying testing or whatever at the beginning.
Mhm.
Then it
Mhm.
went to Misty or whoever it went to, and
Yeah.
it went back to them playing the tape. So
Mhm.
I kind of assumed from what you were saying that you meant like that in between time that we didn't see was those 43 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. So that means that the second time we saw them in the car until they stopped it was the end of that 43 minutes. I'm assuming.
Yes. That's what I
Okay.
think.
So my question is the end of it was what we heard of the screaming and the yelling no. Okay.
Mhm. Yes.
So either the yelling no is not what we thought, because otherwise that would mean that the 43 minutes was them eating him, if that was the end of
What?
it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like if that no was actually Lottie yelling no, and the part that we saw at the end of the episode,
Mhm. Yeah.
that would mean that that tape was 43 minutes leading up to that.
Mhm.
And
But I
it
don't
would have
believe
been,
that's not what I believe.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That doesn't make sense. So
Mhm.
I don't know if there was supposed to have been time passing in the car that they didn't explain. And I don't like,
Mhm.
if that's the case, I don't like the way they showed us the scene.
Yeah, and yeah, that might be it because I
Do
feel
you
like
understand what I'm saying? Like I
I
thought
feel
that
I feel like I feel like the birder put it on to do the testing, and then they thought the women screaming were also the birds because they made a similar noise, and then the tape is running while they're running after these birders and killing them and everything, and they've got the whole thing on that tape.
yeah. So it could be a different no as well.
Yeah.
Chris says, I thought the no was like, oh no, not now. Don't let us be found doing this. Maybe do you understand what I was saying though about the way they filmed the scene? Like to me,
Yeah.
seeing it the second time made it like the end, and that didn't make sense.
Yeah, well, it was time jumps, they've done
And
that
it might just
before.
be the way they filmed it too. I think Jason says, I think the recording is long, but we only heard the beginning, then the end. But see, that's my point. If what we heard was the end, that end can't be the end of that bonfire, whatever scene, because there was nothing incriminating at the beginning of it. Like they would have just seen them eating. You know what I'm saying? Like what happened before that moment, as far as we know, wasn't incriminating. So either something happened that they didn't show us, or that's a different no, or they just screwed up the way they filmed it.
Or they started it when they were screaming, like at the end. The bird watchers, okay. Imagine a bird watcher testing on the DAT.
Yeah.
They're testing it because they hear the rare bird, the screaming bird. But then other people are screaming. So they're like, okay, that's kind of weird. Then they go over here, and then it's this 43 minutes of absolute mayhem because these crazy women are chasing them around, stabbing them. They finally get her at the end. She still has the tape on her recording. She's like, no, don't stab me.
Okay.
And
yeah, that makes sense. That's why I'm saying like that no, if it was just Lottie saying that, wouldn't make sense. So I think it's probably a different no, and we're just being led to believe that.
I'm not saying that it could be somebody other than the bird watcher, but the bird watcher is what I think.
Yeah, that's what you're saying makes total sense. The way they shot it confused me. TCS said, I thought the 43 minutes reflects the entire time of the recording. That includes the time it took Shauna to get to Ty and Van.
I agree as well with that. It may be like 3 minutes, 5 minutes for her to get there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing we're going to find out next week.
Yeah. So. If it's in real time, I'll like lose my mind.
I would love that. That would be awesome if they did that. But yeah, I wish they had done it a little different, because I think what you're saying is right. It just, to me, it doesn't line up right. And it irritates me. And I think I'm just being too nitpicky about it.
Well, they have a lot of jumps too. Like even with the stuff with Nat and Coach, it's more of a time jump than I think it really was. was kind of counting the days. And I'm like, yeah, I just gotta believe that winter's coming, you know?
Yeah.
Like they say.
It's just, I don't know. But the other thing is they may want us to, I mean, they're implying that what we heard was that scene. Like it could definitely be something that happened after that.
Yeah, it could be totally something different. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be something that happened the next day when they went after them and killed them. Chris says, I agree, Jamie. Thank you. No, it was shot very clunky and doesn't really line up, but who knows, maybe done intentionally. And that's kind of my point. Like it may have been a mistake. It may be that there was time within the car that passed that I didn't realize. It may be they just didn't film it great. It could be a lot of things, but I hope that they explain it. And I think that either way, it was a very cool ending. And I can buy that it was the beginning at the end and it was just the way they filmed it. Cause I think it's just hard for them to show us,
yeah.
what we're seeing.
They only have so much time.
Yeah, right. So okay, so she sees that she's recording. Whoops, I lost my picture. Okay, so she sees that her daughter was recording it, and there's where it says 43 minutes. So she assumedly deletes it. They can actually show her deleting it, but it's supposed to be her deleting it.
Yeah, but she has to delete it twice, and she's not smart enough to delete it twice.
Yeah, I know. She didn't delete it from the cloud. This is an iPhone.
No, because it's in the trash can. You have to delete it once and then delete it in the trash can, and she did not.
Yeah, because the recently deleted is part of the cloud.
Yeah.
So I did take a picture of this to show what she had recorded, which is Nana. I don't know what Nana Cinnamon Challenge is. Nano Cinnamon Challenge. Coach Morrison
like
being
Jim Rant.
Yeah, Jim Rant. Physics lesson Tuesday, and
she spelled
Chloe
it wrong.
gut screaming. I assume Chloe gut screaming is when she dumped the guts on them that we already knew about.
Yeah, and she spelled physics. Oh yeah, I guess she spelled physic and not physics.
Yeah,
okay.
But I'm assuming it was
Coach Morrison being stupid.
Yeah. Why did you record him being stupid? I don't know. Either way, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So I took a picture of it. But she takes it out and leaves. And then because she's like, I got to go take care of this. It's an emergency. Because they're like, where are you going? But she, she's worried about her family. Then back in the cave, Akilah goes in and has another vision as Lottie helps her. I don't think Travis is there this time. Let's see. She sees them all happy running around the camp. And then all of a sudden they're gone. And she's like, where is everybody? And then this fucked up puppet bear that I don't even know what to call it. That goes up on its hind legs and stares at her.
I wish Nia would have been with us longer because I was like, so did Akilah watch a lot of stop action cartoons when she was a kid? Where's this bear coming from?
Yeah, hold on. I gotta take this frame my head plugged. I would have I kind of thought she was gonna be able to stay longer. I wish we could have asked more about it, but it's not like that she could have necessarily told us anything, helpful about it, but it was cool. But yeah, the stop motion animation is really weird. Do you think it's possible that represents the bear that came to Lottie before? I was just thinking of that now as we're talking about it.
I don't know. I mean, I've always thought that bear was connected to Laura Lee, and it could be some kind of spiritual thing because Laura Lee was spiritual.
Yeah.
And then it's got the third eye.
Yeah. I mean, third eye definitely obviously means enlightenment or, seeing beyond whatever. Yeah. Jason's saying Laura Lee's teddy bear.
Leonard.
Why I'm not sure, but it's interesting, and I wonder if it's related to that bear, or it could have nothing to do with it at all. It's hard to tell. Jason says, I thought this would be the episode until the actual ending. Yeah, because this would have been a good ending.
There was a lot of what the fucks because I was like, oh cool, Lisa, what the fuck? Okay, this bear.
Yeah, no, there was.
It's great.
And so she sort of wakes her up. Because she passed out. And then I have Kayla starts apologizing and saying she doesn't know what it means. And then the song Be There by Low plays. This is another one where I meant to look up the damn lyrics and I forgot because I think it was saying I don't want to be there or something. It was something that's interesting with the lyrics, but I don't know.
Is it a song being played?
Yeah. Let's see if it'll show me lyrics without. I don't want to play the song. I just want lyrics, dude. Go listen to me, damn it. I don't want to be there when you're wrong. I don't want to be there when you find out. I don't want to be there when you break glass. I don't want to be there when they drag you out. So it could be about, what's going to happen. But it also says, this is interesting. It says you can't speak backwards. You can't save the animals. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. But a lot of times they have the lyrics make sense, So Chris,
what was the song?
Sorry, what?
What was the song?
It was called "Be There" by Low, L-O-W.
Oh, Low. Okay, yeah.
Chris says, I thought the bear represented Ben. That actually kind of makes sense in a weird way. Like maybe it represented like he had some kind of, because they think he's the Burridge, right? Well, maybe he had some kind of knowledge that they're losing by destroying him.
Or the sacrifice.
Or sacrificing him, yeah. Or maybe he was, I don't know, that like they would have become better and had a sort of, I don't want to say enlightenment if they didn't kill him, but they could have been better. So yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting thought. And it does kind of work. So let's see. So Natalie wakes up in the middle of the night.
I like in my notes it says Natalie wakes up and thinks it's a good night to kill Coach.
Yeah. Yeah, she wakes up, she's upset.
Why tonight?
Yeah, and she gets a knife and she's gonna go kill him. And Travis catches her. I'm gonna paste the StreamYard link again in the chat in case anybody wants it. But Travis sees her and stops her, and she's like, I have to do this. Nobody else will. And he does finally agree, and he says he'll, stand by and watch that nobody comes, thankfully. So he sort of agrees to help her. And then she goes in.
See, this is where I had a problem with a time lapse, too.
Okay.
So it was like nighttime, and then like the next scene, it's almost like daytime. There's no like,
Yeah, I don't know if maybe it's just supposed to be she stayed with him till he died. Like maybe he took a while to die. Because she did stab him in the chest instead of like slitting his throat. So it might have taken a while.
You would think she would have made it quick.
Well, yeah, but I mean, maybe she thought she did, or maybe she sat and talked to them and they just talked to them. And just didn't show up. I don't know.
Stabbed him.
I mean, before she stabbed him. I still have a problem with this though, more because I don't understand why she stabbed him if she didn't want to get caught. Like, why not poison him? Also, stabbing him is not an easy death. I mean, it's not necessarily a hard death compared to other things she could have done. But why not just poison him? If she came in and she said, "Hey, I know you don't want to eat, but I made this for you. I put poison shit in it. If you take it, you'll die, and nobody will know I did it." He would have agreed.
It's poison mushrooms. Eat them.
Yeah, and he would have taken it gladly. But I guess they wanted it to be more dramatic. So he thanks her and she plunges the knife into his heart. And that's about it. I think they both did really good acting. Because like it was really sad.
Yeah, Coach isn't my favorite character, but I love Steve Kruger's acting.
Yeah, he's really
good. So good.
He is. So Misty comes up and I guess she was just talking to Travis, and then Natalie comes out. And she's like, "What did you do?" And, Misty starts screaming. It sounds like Travis is trying to calm her down, but it's not super clear what the conversation is. But she says, "I kept a promise." There's a really good shot of Misty. And I guess what "I kept a promise" means when Ben said, you said you were going to put me to the death and you need to do that. I'm assuming that's what that's referring to.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe there was something prior to that I hadn't remembered.
Yeah, I don't know. That was what I assumed that it meant, but it's not super clear. But he did thank her for it, and he did want her to. And then Misty goes in, and she did really good in this scene too. I don't know how to feel about this scene. I wonder because there's a part of me that feels like it was a little weird, but there's another part of me that sees it as not like the kiss wasn't necessarily meant as like a sexual kiss. It
like
was like,
necrophilic.
no, well, yeah, there's that. But no, I mean, I don't think, yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. That makes it worse. But
Yes.
no, I mean, I feel like maybe this scene was just like her accepting it and telling him goodbye. Like it didn't have to be weird. It depends how you take it.
It was
I
weird.
think the
It was
thing to
weird.
me that was weird was her posing him more so even than the kiss. Like her telling him goodbye, it's like she accepted he was gone, and it was hard for her to, and she cared. I think she did care about him in her own twisted way. So yeah, part
but
of me
I feel like she's just so traumatic that she just wants him to look alive and just sleeping, you know, like he's not really dead. Like she can't believe it.
but that isn't necessarily a weird, gross thing though either. I mean, that's not abnormal for, I mean, not, that's something that somebody would maybe do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I find this scene very heartbreaking too, even though it's Misty. The kiss was a little, I don't know, it depends how you take the kiss. Like I said, it could have been more like a kiss goodbye, but she could have kissed his cheek. I think it would have been a little less.
I think the comment expresses best. It's gross and sweet.
Yeah. And it's Misty, so you never know what's going on in Misty's head, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. But she's crying and she's trying to deal with it. That's where she's sitting with him. And then she kisses him.
And she hits herself too, like she did, like the baby, that kind of thing where Misty was like prior to this was saying babies don't cry and all that stuff. Like she had a similar talk, and I felt bad for her.
Wait, babies don't cry?
Yeah, there was one. It was in a prior episode. Like even adult Misty says babies don't cry, and she like puts herself into that kind of like is a similar thing she said.
Yeah, well, she's trying to calm herself down, I guess. I think about the fact though, I guess, like he's, at least in real life, she's older, but it's, I don't know, it's just a little weird.
Well, it's weird that he's dead.
Yeah, well, now he's dead, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, the kiss was only weird because it was something Coach was really against. Yeah, but that's what I said. I think it depends. Like, I don't think it has to be taken in a sexual way. I think it can just be a goodbye. But I think it would have played less gross if she kissed his cheek. But I think it's supposed. But I think it's supposed to play gross. I mean, I think you're supposed to think it's gross and sweet. I think that's the point. But All City says she has the biggest heart. And makes another point, was that her first kiss? I kind of wondered that too. I kind of wondered if it was almost like she's like, I'm never going to kiss a boy because I might die here. So she at least kissed him. Although you would think
she wanted to know the feeling of Coach's lips like once.
I was going to say, although I would think if that's the case, you'd maybe try for Travis first. And B, have done it before he died.
or there's a lesbian option.
It's definitely a weird ass first kiss. I would agree with that. I don't know. Like I said, I think it was supposed to be disturbing but sweet. I think that was the whole point, and I think they both pulled it off. So Natalie comes out and she tells him it's the right thing to do. Was the right thing to do because he was suffering, and that's when Melissa's like, "Shut the fuck up," and then Jen. Shoves her because Jen is forever following them and needs to like grow a pair. Which I want to talk to the actress about that scene. Wait,
she just repeated her. Yeah, she definitely wants to be part of that clique.
Chris's Ben is like, even in death, this bitch won't leave me alone. I love that. That's true. It probably was what he was thinking. So when this happens, Ty's like, we need to have another trial, and. Moving this up here. Okay, so
she wants to practice her lawyering skills.
Hey, Debbie, thanks for coming. But yeah, she's like, we're gonna have another trial, and then immediately Sean is like, no, she admitted it. She's guilty, and we know what has to happen. And I think at this point, she was going to kill her, or at least that was her plan, until Lottie.
That's a great picture of Shauna, by the way.
It is.
Shauna.
Full on angry Shauna. That's like a meme waiting to happen, right?
Yeah.
That's what I felt like. Maury's upset too. But Shauna says that, and then is probably going to kill her. And then Lottie's like, Shauna should lead us. And I feel like the whole reason Lottie said that was because she's like, we can't let her kill Natalie. This will stop her. Shauna will be appeased. Shauna will be happy because she gets the attention she wants.
Shauna will be better.
Yeah, because she didn't even like consult with the wilderness. But I definitely think it was a smart move. It worked. And yeah, I think she saved Natalie in that instance. And this is where, okay, so let's see. They agree. And then Misty, okay, she's a little shocked there for a second. And then Misty here is like, I think I skipped the picture of Misty because this looks like what she's saying about it. Yeah, Misty says, you know, does she get away with killing him? And she's like, because Shauna says, I skipped the part. Shauna says, we're not killing anybody else.
Yeah.
She's like, we've had enough death. That's not what's happening. And
well, until the bird watchers show up.
Yeah. My only question is, I find it a little bit. Chris says Shauna is the wilderness. We must appease her. The only problem I have with this scene, I have a little bit of a problem with it, is that Shauna was ready to kill her. And Lottie's like, you should be the leader. And I get it kind of distracted her, but she's all of a sudden like, we can't kill Natalie. So I almost feel like that was such a big 180 that she suddenly decided not to kill Natalie. So I don't know if I quite buy she changed her mind that quickly.
She got what she wanted. So I feel like it holds.
Yeah, she didn't care. She got what she wanted, but she's like, well, no, she's like, when somebody dies out here, we honor them. So we're going to honor Coach, and Natalie will prepare the feast. And obviously she's going to make her cut him up, which isn't so good.
Yeah, it was interesting. She kind of aligned herself with the wilderness.
Yeah. Yeah, she's but she's gonna lead now. And then Jeff and Callie are playing cards for Candy. And Jeff's telling her, you know, stuff about he wants to take care of her, but he's partially playing the game, it seems like. She won the hand.
Jeff has 3 6s. Did you notice? The devil's number.
Yeah, she does. You're right. Forever Autumn says we honor them by displaying their head like a boar. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
you make him watch.
That's kind of why I said that was what screwed them up. If they hadn't done that, I think that everything would have been okay with the people coming, but they had to do it. So I totally agree with that. But she won. The only thing I could think of is I know the Ace of Spades is like the death card. That was the only thing I could come up with if there was any meaning behind the cards. I figured she was going to have like 3 queens or something, which would have been better.
Well, it proves Jeff's the devil because he's got the 3 6s.
Yeah, but she has aces and 7s. So I don't know. Unless that hand other than full house means, let me see if sometimes certain hands mean things. Hand of cards. Let's try. I should have looked. 3 aces and 2 7s.
I think there's going to be a talk.
Probably not. I'm just looking. A hand containing, it says it's full house. That was helpful. Oh, Google AI. See, dead. Okay. Now here's something about dead man's hand. That's what I was kind of getting at, that it's when you have black aces. Okay. That's with aces and 8s. So I guess just aces don't give you a dead man's hand. So maybe it's not that, but I don't know if it has meaning or not. I just know that I think it's the Ace of Spades. It's the death card or something.
Plus, I think she was cheating anyway.
Probably.
Probably put an ace up her sleeve or something.
Yeah, maybe. So Shauna comes back in and she is pissed off. And she's like, I got to talk to you. We got to have a mother-daughter talk. And she's mad that she recorded her. And she's like, you're a child. And she's like, I was the same age you were when all this happened. And then Callie plays this card and this shit of, I was just trying to get close to you, which is totally bullshit. I mean, that was clear manipulation. Don't you agree? When
she's just trying to get close to her so she can retrieve her phone and her message back.
Yeah.
Hug me, Mom.
I don't know, but it was very manipulating. And she's like, get out before I do something I regret. And Callie, if she actually did care about getting close to her and was actually upset, she wouldn't have been over here smiling when she finds out her recording's still there. So, yeah, she's got the recording.
Shauna needs to know how to like double delete something.
Yeah, I should have known better.
It's foot.
TCS says the feast confused me because they have food. They could have honored him and made jerky for the winner. Yeah, good idea. That's what I'm talking about, preserving the meat.
Yeah. And plus they had a huge fish that Misty couldn't.
They did. I think the point is they didn't need the meat. I think the point is more Shauna wanted to be mean to Natalie and she wanted to punish her. I think that's
the party.
Because honoring somebody doesn't mean eating them.
Well, Shauna does.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Forever Autumn agreed with me. I think it's mostly done to punish Nat by forcing her to carve him up and then degrading Ben's body. I totally 100% agree. Excuse me, but I agree. Jerky's smarter. All City talking about Callie for a second ago says she's definitely her mother's daughter. She is. And Jason says a line from Hannibal: eating her is honoring her. Otherwise, it's just murder.
Yep.
All righty then.
Shauna and Hannibal will get along.
Yeah, probably would. So she goes over looking at the body, and there they have a picture of his fake body. She takes the necklace back. And I still question what Lottie thought the necklace meant if it didn't mean what Shauna thought. We can't find that out, but I would like to know. But Shauna tells her something about you need to start with the joint or something like that. And she tells, I don't understand how she cut somebody up covering her eyes. Unless the captions were wrong, it said that she says she usually covers her own eyes.
Yeah, she did that. She did it with Javi. She covered her eyes before she cut into him. She did it by feel. She felt up his neck.
Oh, okay. I guess it makes sense. But
she doesn't want to see what she's doing, obviously.
Yeah. I would be more worried I'd cut myself.
Yeah. Could be. Could happen.
Yeah, she gives her the knife and she covers his face instead. She's like, this will help. I wanted to ask you this, though, and we'll leave it so it's not on the body for you. But I wanted to ask, I almost felt a little bit like this was a peace offering from Shauna. Did you feel like that? And maybe it's just me, but she's like, you're going to have to carve them up, basically, right, to really hurt her. But yet she comes over and instructs her how to do it. And granted, Natalie doesn't know what to do, so she's helping her. But the way she does it and explains it to her, she's not being cruel at this point. She's almost being helpful. She's like, cover his face. It'll help you. I almost feel like this is kind of like her saying, okay, you're getting your punishment. Now we move on. That's how. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. No, go ahead. I was just going to click on the chat. Go ahead.
No, I thought that since she was leader, she was going to put Nat in the butcher position.
Well, yeah, she's definitely making her do it.
I mean, for all time, not just now, but for all time.
That I don't know. Maybe
because
not.
I kind of feel like Jen's the hunter now, because in the beginning there was Jen with the rifle and a pheasant, and maybe they have switched positions because Nat became leader, so there had to be another hunter, and now Shauna's leader, and there has to be another butcher.
I don't know. Shauna's butchered a lot of things, but if she already knows what she's doing, it's kind of irrelevant.
They should have more than one butcher.
Yeah, she used the mask. I'm not sure.
Why does it have to fall on one person? That's a really horrible job.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if by the mask you mean when she cut up the other body or what. I'm not sure what you mean.
She used a mask with Javi. She put a blindfold over her eyes.
Over her eyes. Okay. CCS agrees with me. I thought it was a kindness. Yeah. Chris is right too, though. Giving up the knife even temporarily is giving up power. I mean, Natalie could turn around and stab her. So maybe it's also a little bit of trust. But yeah, I don't know. I took this scene to be like, we're even now. We're done. It's over. We're not going to keep going on. And that maybe she's, grown a little bit, that she's not going to keep pushing it. I think she got what she wants. She's happy. She's leader. And I think that she would have maybe made a good leader if they'd done it before. I don't know that I think she's a good leader now, because now I think she's gone through so much shit. She's insane.
Mm.
and that Natalie was less insane. But I think originally she would have made a good leader. So I don't know.
Well, then Sandy might make Shauna a better leader. She might surprise me.
Willing to do the hard stuff, right? Willing to make the hard decisions and sacrifices. So I don't know. So whoa, did not mean to do that. So as I said, she covers his face, and then back in the present, she took the necklace back too. I think I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Which again, I want to know what it does actually mean. But so Lisa tells Misty that Natalie ordered food and gave her $50,000 as a tip.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you just took it. And I'm like thinking, what person wouldn't just take it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, somebody hands me 50 grand, I'm taking it. I ain't questioning it, you know?
I just like what she said, you know, bad things happened. She moved on. This happened to her. You know, hell yeah. She took it and moved on. She's like, you should try giving that a shot.
Yeah.
I love Lisa.
She's like, my best friend died. And she's like, she didn't die. You killed her.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that
Voice of
line.
reason.
Yeah. She's like, well, we had a complicated relationship. But she tells her, you know, I think Missy's trying to rationalize what happened. And she's like, no, you know, Natalie was actually getting better, wanted to get better. And you guys wouldn't let her. You brought her back down is basically what she says.
Yeah.
And she's like, she died. She fell down the stairs. It wasn't murder. And Misty says, you know, even you should be able to tell that doesn't make sense and that's too, you know, simple. And she says, well, if you're going to go down that path, that you should start with Ty, who met up with her outside the cafe the day she died. So, I mean, I wasn't super surprised. I don't know that I think Ty did it, but I wasn't super surprised. I feel like Ty is too obvious. That's why I don't think Ty did it, but I don't know.
Well, no, we'll get to know soon.
Yeah. I'm starting to maybe think Callie did it because she seems like she's a little bonkers now, maybe. So I don't know. But
yeah, it's interesting because last week we were putting Lisa on not us individually, but at Fayfires we were putting Lisa on the sus list.
Yeah. I don't think she did it. I believe she gave her the money. So meanwhile, now I hope that the one I got's in focus. I didn't check it, but yeah, you can read it. She's looking up about how long a DAT tape would survive after being in the outdoors, I guess. So yeah, I guess trying to see if it's really legit, if it would still be in that kind of, I don't know. I'm not sure what looking it up really tells her, but other than it's giving us clues that she, you know, knows it was from then, but we already knew that. So I'm not entirely sure what the point of her researching that is.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's definitely implying something happened out there. The search goes right back to the birders for me. Yeah, I think there's a good chance it is them. I mean, I think that's definitely what they're insinuating. Forest Autumn says, yes, I have a secret hope that Callie has indeed already listened to the tape and is trying to take the Yellowjackets down. That's interesting. I would question, though, how Callie could have listened to the tape, though. I don't think that a teenager, well, I mean, I guess you could research a DAT tape and find a way to listen to it, but
but most Gen Zers will look at it and go, this is weird. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
Help me.
I don't think most, like you said, her age would even know what it was necessarily. But, well, no, yeah, because this is present, so she wouldn't know what it is. But I don't know. I tend to just wonder if she's losing it, like she's with everything that's happened. But let's find out. All right, so that's okay. Van looking at about the DAT tape. So this is where Ty wakes up and she's like, help me, save me. Oh, wait, we have one more. Let me put up her last comment. She's Gen Z. She's pretty tech savvy. She might be able to find out how to listen to it from Reddit, to be honest. I think the question is more, could she find a player? Like, how hard is it to find a DAT player? I don't know. I think that's the big, although I also question, can you tell for sure what's happening? Like, we only heard a tiny piece of it, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, she possibly could. I just don't know how easy it would be to get a hold of the information. But Ty wakes up asking Van for help. This is likely the real Ty, I guess, trying to get help. As I think that phone was implying that she's, trying to get Van to help her here.
Yeah, Tony Cypress does some pretty creepy acting here.
She does.
She raises up like vampire, like, and then goes back down.
And then goes back down, raises back up, like, why are you in bed? Like, having a weird dream. Yeah. Okay, so very, very strange. And Van doesn't, she's not sure what to do. So then Misty is going to call them. But first she's texting Tysa that they need to talk. And then she gets a pop-up from Carl about the test results. And she looks at the DNA and she has no idea how to read it. So she decides to go ahead and send it to Walter because she doesn't know what else to do. And she says, I can't make anything of this. She says, what good is a DNA profile without samples to compare? Mm-hmm. So maybe he'll have
and Walter has a sample of Shauna's hair at least, or Shauna's hair.
Yeah, which I think is where this is going. But even if the hair sample matches, I think it might be that he set her up. I don't think it's Shauna. Although that being said, now that I just said that, her hair sample could match on certain alleles or whatever they're called if it's Callie's. So it could be done and then like it's like a fake out, like we think it's Shauna and it's actually Callie. That's a possibility. So back at what did I do? I lost where I was. Okay, so they're back at the campfire and they're eating and Misty starts humming. Oh, no, wait. First, I don't know if it was first or after, but this is where Maury says to Natalie, what you did was, and then she didn't finish her statement. I think she was going to say something like what she did was brave.
Yeah, I think so too.
Was kind of thanking her for it, but she's like, you shouldn't have done it, but yeah, you took care of it.
I thought that was a vibe, I thought.
Yeah, I definitely think that. But Misty starts humming and...
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Is that what it was?
Because there's a scene in the first season where she's trying to help Ben relieve himself by a tree, and she says, singing helps, and she hummed Breakfast at Tiffany's. So she's having a little memory there, Misty.
I see.
Like she eats, Coach.
Oops. TCS says, that was really nice of Maury because the tone of you shouldn't have was like, this is what I have to say. Yeah. I definitely agree. And I think that's what it was. I think she was saying you did the right thing was the idea of that. This though scene is very strange to me whenever Lottie says, she tells Misty to sing, but first she says, this is wrong. This isn't how it was supposed to happen. So what is wrong and what isn't the way it was supposed to happen?
Did she supposed to eat Coach?
Yeah. Whatever it was, she didn't expect it, but she seems to get over it really quick when Misty starts singing.
Yeah.
He's like, sing, sing. And then you start hearing the screams in the forest. Regardless, we don't know what they are, but we start hearing them. And then we hear a roar and they all start laughing as they're singing.
They're all into it. Van's into it.
Yeah. And there's the fire. And then she's like, sing. Forever Autumn says, I thought she meant it was wrong to eat Coach, but she jumped up and kept eating that while singing. So, yeah, I don't know what she meant, unless it was just the wrong way to honor him. I have no clue.
Yeah, she was hungry.
Yeah. I guess, was the name of the season 1 episode Bear Down? Maybe that's what Jason meant. He said it was in season 1 episode. Then he said
Bear Down is right. You're correct.
Okay. Yeah.
With the Breakfast and Tiffany's sign.
Okay. Chris said there's no way I could pee listening to yeah. And I know this was about before, but TCS said, oh, Callie's would be close to Shauna. Yeah, the DNA definitely would.
Yeah.
I could see them doing that as a fake out, totally. I think if I was a writer, that's probably what I would do. But anyway, she seems to be okay with the eating it now, and they all start screaming and laughing, and they seem to be having a good time eating Coach. And it's really creepy. And,
And plus it says in the closed captioning, it says ominous, hopeful music.
I don't know
Which is the
how
best
hopeful,
description
okay.
of music I've heard in a long time.
Yeah. They're all screaming, and then now you can't see anything. I meant to lighten it. I honestly forgot all about it, but I don't think it's going to show you anything. I know you think that's something else. No, I know you think that's him, but that's what Lottie sees as somebody. And this is where she says no. And I thought maybe she knew the person coming. It was like, no, they shouldn't be here type of thing. Or no,
I thought it was no, we just ate Coach and mounted his head by the gate, and now our rescuers are here. Oh no.
Yeah,
whoops.
that kind of no.
Oopsies. Oopsie daisy.
Yeah, but the two birders come in, and then he's like, hi. And then he looks over at the head, and he's like, what the fuck? And then it ends. I love how they ended that and then went into the music. That was great.
Nelson Franklin really sold this. He like even jumps back. It's great.
Yeah, that was a really good scene. And obviously something that everybody I think was shocked. Nobody expected that. I mean, come on.
I'm glad they've held her hand and they haven't given too much away.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely didn't expect it. I didn't see any spoilers about it. Now, as we said earlier, we know that they're not leaving now. So it can't be.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah. So this isn't how they get home, at least originally anyway. So they're probably not far from civilization, unless these hikers went a really, really, really long way. So I guess the big question is, like, they can't let these people live, because they know what they did. And I think if maybe they didn't have the head on display, they could have gotten rid of gotten away with it, but now they can't. Forever Arms is not trying to victim blame, but let's not walk up to Randus in the woods or holding a ceremony and shouting. You're right. It was kind of a dumb thing. But then again, I don't think he expected when he ran across these teenage girls.
Are you going to expect that?
So yeah, I think that, watching that, we were definitely, I think everybody was shocked. I definitely was shocked. Why are all these coming? They can get the way back home from them before honoring them. Yeah, true. I see what happened. People kept typing as I clicked on off. That's what happened. Wrong one, Chris. So you guys are here for dessert. That's great. I love that. That's the meme. That's the meme. I want to see someone make a meme of that.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's awesome. So yeah, I think that they're going to go after him and try to kill them. And like I said, I think that it's some really sad irony, because they could have been their way home, but is there really any way they could convince them not to tell on them? I mean, to be fair, now these are teenage girls, they're not going to think things through. But the truth is, this guy really has no way of knowing that they killed him. Like, they could all make a pact to say that he committed suicide because he was hurt, or he was sick, or he fell and died, and they had no food, and they ate him.
Cut off his own head and put it by the gate.
Well, no, they definitely cut off his head, and that would be whatever it is.
Well, I feel like this guy right here, Nelson Franklin, he's just going to make a run for it, because he's. Yeah, I mean, I would. I'd be like, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, technically, there would be ways that they could not go to prison, because even if they cut his head off, they could say, well, this is the way we honored him. We had to eat, I mean, there's ways around it. Like, I don't know that this would necessarily make them go to prison, but teenage girls are not going to think it through. And their idea is, well, let's make it better by killing somebody else. At least I think that's what's going to happen. So, yeah.
Yep. This is getting towards their bad things that they were blackmailed for, that they had to pay $50,000 for.
Yeah.
The bad stuff.
So, mentioning that, do you think that the $50,000 thing that Lisa said, like, do you think that that's the end of that, and that's the case? Because I think it makes sense that it was.
Yeah, I think that she was. I think Lottie was going to apologize to somebody else, though. Maybe the person that threw it down the stairs. Because she was practicing in front of the mirror, but Lisa said she just gave the money to her with a tip, so she wasn't really talking to Lisa.
That's true. Do you think that it would make sense. She was, which I'm trying to remember what she was saying. Could it have been to Callie?
What do you mean?
What her apology in the mirror? Like
It could have been to Shauna. It could have been to Callie. It could have been to the adult Melissa. Who knows?
Yeah.
We don't have that info yet.
Yeah. I just was curious if you thought it could be. I guess it makes sense. I couldn't remember exactly what was said. CCS says, I find it weird that Lisa went back to work so soon after being gifted $50K. I don't know about that because $50,000 isn't like enough to quit your job.
Mm-hmm. Plus, you have to wait a while for that to become solid too.
That's true, like taxes and everything. And also,
Yeah.
I would think that if somebody gave you that money right before they died, you probably it might look suspicious if you suddenly went and spent it all too.
Yeah, yeah.
She might have even been told by the police you have to wait or something. Who knows?
She's smart. She's a smart girl. I don't think she's gonna mess it up. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So, but yeah, I'm really excited. What some agreed, but some would celebrate. Yeah, I think she'd go celebrate, but I don't think you'd quit your job. At least I wouldn't think you would quit your job. I mean, maybe some people would, but celebrate.
She'd probably put it into a nice nest egg or use it for college or something, you know.
Something, but she probably had work that she had to go to, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
AA says, honestly, they're in Canada, so other crimes would be handled at Canadian court if they got in trouble. It would be based on Canada's laws, what happens to them. I guess that's a good point. I'm going by what our laws are, but I'm just saying that finding that head there is not proof that they killed him. It's also, there's no way of knowing who did it if they banded together, that they could have gotten away with it. Like, I think an adult could think through, okay, killing them is going to make it worse. Although I'm not saying all adults wouldn't do that. I mean, a lot of people would be like, well, now we got to kill them. I'm not saying, adults wouldn't, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think that them finding that head is absolutely the end all. They're going to prison, but they don't know what to do. They're going to freak out. I think
it's a sticky situation.
Yeah. So yeah, that's 50,000 buys a lot of goldfish. It does. Buy a big ass tank.
Can be on your 1,000th gilly.
Yep. Yeah, big fish tank. But yeah, and as for the 50,000, I believe she could have given it to her. I would have thought maybe she would have given Callie some too, but it still makes sense. I agree. Ben's head doesn't mean he's murdered. I mean, I would think you could say this is how we honored him. I mean, even if it's fucked up, right? They've been out in the wilderness, they're starving. They would not go to prison for it. But as I said, I don't know that teenage girls would think that far.
Yeah.
But even an adult, there's a lot of adults that would be like, well, now we got to kill them. But I think it would just make it worse. And I think it's going to make it worse. But my question is, in the end, do they get punished for what they did? And not necessarily by the cops, but I mean, do you think that by the end, I know you've talked about like a Final Destination type thing. Do you think in the end that everybody's going to get their ending? Like they're all going to end up dead, or it's in some way or another?
I feel like it's heading in that direction, supernatural or not.
Yeah, I kind of do too. And I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that.
No, they've said they want to have 5 seasons. Is that correct? Or are they just saying at least 5 seasons?
Well, I think that was the goal, whether they get 5 seasons or not. I think they're kind of holding their hand again because I think they're trying to make the rescue plot done by this season, because I know they said they at least wanted 1 season post-rescue.
Yeah.
And that would be playing their hand to have at least that 1 season if they don't get renewed for a 5th season.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. Like, how do you decide when to show it? Because at a certain point, once they show it, I think they are going to have to start moving towards an end.
Yeah. But plus all the teen actors are like almost 30 now. You know, you can't drag it out forever.
Yeah. Chris says, I see 5th season. I see the adult Yellowjackets going back to the wilderness, as crazy as it sounds. I could see that happening. I can make a lost joke here. Like, we have to go back.
Good times.
We're going to get an entire season post rescue. That's interesting. Yeah, I think that getting a season like about post rescue leading up to the present would be really cool. So I could see even maybe like season 4 maybe is like post rescue leading up to what we've seen as the present. Maybe season 5 is like all present, but then there'd be no teens. So I don't know. They're currently on track for a season 5 story. CCO says I'll miss the team part of the show, and that's why I kind of feel like it does make
the team. They'll still have the team part though. They
Well-
still have 1998 when they're rescued and what happened then. They still have a line where Jeff and Shauna get married. They'll still use the same actors, like the younger actors.
I think the idea is if they have them get rescued and they have like a season of leading up to the present, like can they do more than one season though? Like you're right, they can start
Probably.
showing them as adults and make them look their own age. So they definitely could do it. I just don't know if like they will wait till like season 4 to have them be rescued. I don't know because we know there's still a good bit of time before they return home. So I don't know. I mean, we're on episode 6, so we're just past the midpoint. I hope they keep both timelines. I think that they will have a post-rescue timeline and have them younger. That makes sense. But will they wait till season 4? I don't know. I feel like they will probably get, and I don't know, but it would make sense if they got an agreement and Showtime agreed, 2 more seasons because they tell them ahead of time, this is all we're planning. They can probably get it. Yeah. Because I think the ratings are still pretty good. I know there's a lot of people complaining about the season, but I think they're still good, aren't they? I haven't actually looked.
Yeah, but the penultimate episode is called "The Story Ends," and the last episode is called "Full Circle." So I have this
so that does
suspicion.
Make it sound like they're going to get out. Yeah,
they're going to get out.
So maybe season 4 is like
I got to run and get my charger.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll be back in a second.
That's fine. No, I was going to say season 4 could be like right post like coming back. Like season 4 could could be them dealing with what it's like going back to a normal life. Like can they cope with it? Can they do that? Or are they crazy? Because there could be some people that come back and commit suicide. I mean, I'm saying like it's saying nobody's dead. There could be adults or not adults. There could be survivors that come back that don't make it past season 4. Like season 4 could all be about how they deal with it. And then season 5 could be about like the older years leading up to the present. I think people will stop complaining after this episode. Jason, you're saying that because a lot of stuff happens. You would think that, but I'm guessing you might be wrong because people always find something to complain about. But yeah, it's moving. They should not complain. I didn't love the story this season, but I mostly didn't love the story this season because I don't like what they did with Coach, not because I didn't like it overall or think it was good writing or whatever. I just don't like what they did to him. And I think, as I've said before, the fact that I care about his character and don't like it and that it pisses me off, I think proves they did a good job because I think they want to piss people off in that sense. They made me not want him to be dead. Forever Autumn says, I think they'll still be in the wilderness for a while because they have to get through a second winter. That's what I thought season 4 would be. It's kind of what I thought too, but with the title of the finale, it makes me think that Scarlet could be right. Because why else name it that? I mean, what would be the reason to name it that? Like, or they could just be totally playing us and it is going to be another season. The transition back to the real world. That's what I'm saying. I mean, they could have a whole season that's just that transition and then a whole season that's their adult life leading up to the present. Like it could just be like the immediate and then the adult life. Wonder if they're considering filming 2 seasons consecutively to keep the continuity of the teen ages. Well, maybe, Chris. But that's why I'm saying, like, what if they did like a season that was like dealing with it right after they got home, how they function getting back into life. And then season 5 could be like adult, but not as adult as the present. And then they could age them and it wouldn't matter. That's why I'm saying I could see that happening. I don't know. And yes, Forever Autumn, I agree. I think Coach deserved better, and I'm very mad at what they did. But like I said, I think that proves they've done a good job because if you don't care about the characters, you don't care people die. Like the fact that I'm that mad means that they made me like him. Currently in mid-October, rescue should be January. I can't keep track of the timeline. I'll just believe you guys and say you figured it out because I honestly don't know. But yeah, I mean, I could see it getting to that point. But like I said, I mean, definitely there could be people that survive that die before the current present too. I hope they show us Shauna and Jeff's wedding. Shauna was still really young in her wedding photos. Was she pregnant with Callie? I don't know. Maybe, but Yes, I agree. I'm sure no matter what, their wedding had a lot of drama. I'm sure it did. Here, I'm going to one more time because I know now we're getting towards the end anyway. I'm going to one more time post the streaming link in case anybody wants to call in. But I'll just do my spiel again. Please make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out our Yellowjackets playlist for all our Yellowjackets coverage. There's also a From playlist that has all our From interviews as well. The live tab, of course, is all our live shows, but on our video tab at YouTube, we also have tons of other interviews that are not related to either show. So please check those out as well. As well as, I always forget to put the ticker up, but as well as Scifivision.com, where you can find a lot of times interviews that like weren't on video, and a lot of other content. So do check that out as well. And next Sunday? Not next Sunday, the 27th. At 7 p.m. Eastern, we have Vanessa Prasad, who plays Jen, coming on our show to do a live interview like we did tonight with Nia. So make sure you come then. And probably around 5:30, I'm guessing, we'll have our, well, no, because it's not on a Sunday. Forget I said that. We will probably still do our live stream, I'm guessing, that Sunday and have a watch party that Sunday. I was thinking it was on Sunday like today. Normally we have a Yellowjackets watch party when the episode drops on Monday or Thursday night, Friday morning, whatever you want to call it, at midnight. We have our watch party. And then we also have one before the Sunday live stream, which is usually at around 11. We always post about the times in on social media, at Sci-Fi-vision, of course, which I put up there, and in Discord. The link for Discord is in the chat. Please join Discord if you haven't, so you can join our watch parties. We also, on Saturday nights at 9 o'clock, we have our Severance watch party, followed by 10 o'clock, and these are all Eastern times. We have our Severance live stream, which is with me and Karen. And then Tuesday at 10 p.m., we have our Roundup show with Karen, myself, and AJ, and we are doing Still More Reacher, 9 Bodies in a Mexican Morgue. We're going to be doing Wheel of Time, Daredevil Born Again. We'll be starting Doctor Who soon. We'll be doing a separate stream soon for The Last of Us. And Scarlet and I are also discussing maybe doing another stream for a show. We're not sure what yet. So if you guys have any idea for shows you want to see watch parties or you want to streams for, please, of course, tell us in Discord. And also, if you cannot make it to the interview with Vanessa, there is a channel in my Discord under Yellowjackets that says submit questions. You can drop the questions in there or through Twitter, and we'll make sure that they get asked. And yeah, we're trying to get more interviews as we go. There's also, for people like Severance, there's some Severance interviews up there too, and we might be getting some more of that. So yeah, please check all that out. I don't know if anybody, okay, we get some more comments. Let's see. Did I do Silo yet? Yeah. If you mean our breakdowns, yes, we did Silo on our Tuesday show, AA, which since the finale aired, we've already covered. Sorry, but you can go back and watch the live streams. They're still there. Ghost Jackie definitely objected at Sean and Jeff's wedding. Oh, I'd love to see that. That would be great. I didn't realize Scarlett's completely out of here. Her thing isn't even here anymore. But I don't see a message from her. So I'm assuming when she comes back, I'll see her in the thing trying to get through. But yeah, we did do Silo. But we're trying to decide what other shows to cover too. So please let us know your thoughts and everything. We want to do some more watch party rewatches. But also lots of other coverage that isn't part of the live streams that's available. I do a lot of other interviews. I know we're going to probably have Leverage coming up soon. It's not a confirmation, but likely. We've done it each season, so there'll be some of that coming. We're still doing reality. I still have another Deal or No Deal Island interview coming. We've got more Surface, more 1923. Trying to think what other things I have that I have not posted yet. Suits LA. I just did Suits LA, Grosse Pointe, Garden Society, Hunting Party. Interviews for all those will be up as well coming. Dark. Yes, I would like to do a Dark rewatch. I never saw the finale of Dark. I've seen the whole, I say this all the time, I've seen the whole show, but the finale, because when I got to the finale, I didn't have like time to watch it and I put it off. And then I was like, I cannot watch the finale without rewatching the season because I had already forgotten half the shit that happened. So I never got back to watching it. Dark would be a good one. AA likes Fallout, Sweet Pea too. I saw part of Sweet Pea. It was good. I liked it. I hate when I blank out on somebody's name and then I go look and I feel really stupid when I do that. In Sweet Pea, the actress that I'm blanking on her name that plays Jackie, what the hell? Ella Purnell. I did an interview with her for Sweet Pea. That's also up if you search our YouTube. She was really nice. But Fallout, I have not seen. Did I say Leverage? Yes, Leverage Redemption. That is what I mean. It is coming out in next month, I think. I'm not sure the exact date. I'd have to look it up. But yes, we generally cover that. I usually interview everybody for that. So I'm hoping that's going to happen. I don't have any confirmation yet, but hoping to. So yeah, that's coming up. We don't do a live stream about Leverage. I wouldn't mind doing it. I love Leverage, but it's not really a deep dive show. School Spirits is a fun show. Yeah, I seen part of, I don't think I've ever seen the very end of season 1. I have to finish it. But all these shows we need to watch. But Scarlett and I are probably going to do some kind of other live stream. We've been talking about things that are coming, but the problem is a lot of them are far away. Like we've talked about Wednesday. That's not coming for a while. Maybe Stranger Things. That's not coming for a while. And the other shows that we maybe do have already started. So that's why we've been kind of discussing, once Severance is done, what we want to do. Servant is a long show if you want a long one. I would love to do Servant. I've seen season 1 and most of season 2 and was trying to get interviews and didn't. And then for whatever reason, never saw the end of it. I would like to watch it again. That was a good show. I like that. I like M. Night Shyamalan a lot, but I have to watch a lot of screeners and I tend to start something and then I have other stuff and I never get around to finishing it. So I would like to see the end of that. I still want to do a rewatch of The OA and of Dollhouse. I think those would be fun ones. Are we doing Andor? Yes, we will be covering Andor on our Tuesday show, myself, Karen, and AJ. I personally am not a Star Wars person. I'm going to watch it. So I don't know that I'm the best person to break it down because I don't know a lot of the references. But yeah, we're going to talk about it. I know they didn't love the first season, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're going to be doing that. And the last part of Squid Games could be great. I really enjoyed the first part of this last season. See, I have not seen Squid Games. That's something I should have watched. I do need to watch. But yeah, guys, like I said, subscribe to Sci-Fivision and see all this stuff and let me know what kind of other stuff you want to see. Always open for suggestions. And I don't know what the hell has happened to Scarlet. I will keep talking to you guys while I wait for Scarlet to come back. I'm trying to think of anything else. Like I said, we'll definitely be doing The Last of Us and Doctor Who. We were talking about, I think we're going to do a completely separate live stream for The Last of Us. The three of us were going to do, which I love The Last of Us, but I don't know. I'd love to do a Doctor Who show, but I got to get somebody to do it with me. But we do cover it on our Tuesday show. How to keep all of these shows character straight. I have trouble with 2 or 3 shows. Oh, it's hard. Oh, that's the other show. 9 Bodies in a Mexican Morgue. We also cover on Tuesday. Yes, it's hard. I'm busy trying to keep my schedule straight of who I'm talking to, what day and everything, because I have so many things scheduled. But yeah, I just started doing more with the live streams recently because our Tuesday show was anyway more of like a review thing. We do more of a breakdown now than we used to, but our one on Tuesday, like it's a couple hours long, but we usually do multiple shows, so it's definitely not a deep dive like we do into this, which is why we're getting into doing more deep dives. I didn't think about it. If her charger died completely, yeah, she may not be able to get back to I didn't even think about that. Whoa, one of you call in and talk to me. Put the link again. Tell me what you thought about Yellowjackets, and we can have more of a conversation, because otherwise I'm going to have to peter out on myself because I'm talking to myself. I feel like I'm talking to myself anyway. I don't know. The only thing I could say is that I enjoyed this episode. Again, very happy that Nia came today. And again, we thank her for coming. And like I said, Vanessa is going to be coming on the 27th. I was supposed to get a Yellowjackets interview off of this that wasn't like live, but was supposed to be an interview. But now I haven't heard back again. So I'm still trying. Always trying to set them up sometimes it's hit and miss, and sometimes you think you're going to do it and then you don't. So kind of waiting on that. Oh, we also cover surreal estate. That's coming up too. Just trying to think of what things are coming up as I'm talking. We will cover Dead City when it comes out. I know Lori, if you're still there, I don't know, she'd asked about that before. We will. Karen and I talk about Dead City. Don't love it as much as some of the other shows, but we do cover it. That's fine, Jason. Thanks. But yeah, we'll be talking about this, and there will likely be some Dead City interviews of some kind coming. Not with the leads, like I said, I doubt we'll get the leads, but some of them. The only thing is that kind of stuff you have to look at scifivision.com, because AMC very, very, very seldom lets us do video. So there's also the new Mythic Quest spinoff. I'm probably going to be covering. I think it's called Side Quest. That's coming. I don't think anything else. Sorry, I'm like thinking offhand, and my brain is just like going stuck. So, oh, we had 2 comments starred. We missed. I'm sorry. These were from way before, but I'll put them up now. Chris had said bringing the whole DAT tape issue around at the end was chilling. Yes, I love how we didn't know what it was, and then at the end we learned what it is. I still think the timing and the way they filmed doesn't make tons of sense to me, because it makes it, to me, seem like the end of the DAT tape was the end of this scene. So that would imply that the 43 minutes that happened were what happened before they started chanting in that, which would just be them having dinner, which, unless something crazy happened we didn't know about, doesn't make tons of sense. I'm just going to assume that that was the way they filmed it, or that the screams and oh no were actually not from this scene, and we're just being led to believe that. And then you also said Callie and Sammy need to be in Offspring of Yellowjackets counseling together. I would agree with that. That's a good idea. I agree. Well, guys, I have a feeling Scarlet is not going to come back. So unless somebody is going to call in, unless you guys have something you specifically want me to talk about, I'm kind of running out of things to say. I don't know. That's why I said somebody needs to call in. But I know maybe you guys don't want to. That's okay. But please do subscribe to Sci-Fivision, and make sure too that you leave comments outside of the chat, because it does help the algorithm to get us more traffic. I don't know why the chat doesn't count, but it does. It does a lot better. I'm guessing, because I haven't heard from Scarlet, that she is still not able to come in, because she has not messaged me back. So I guess that we'll just wrap up for the night, unless anybody, last chance, if you want to call in and talk. I guess not. Well, I feel like I'm rambling. I think everybody probably thinks I'm rambling. So we'll leave it at that. But I will see you guys on, what's the next one? Tuesday at 10 p.m. for our roundup show. So yeah, I was going to say something else, and I totally lost track of what it was. But please join Discord. You can find all the links there. And I'm also considering, I may make some kind of blog coming up that has like a kind of keeping track of the schedule of our live streams and our watch parties, because I feel like it's getting confusing sometimes that there's so many coming on, and then they change times, and they're different times for different shows. And I know sometimes I come on air and I say this one's at this time, and I'm wrong, because I just can't remember because I got too many in my head and I mix them up. It tends to happen. So I was thinking that maybe that would help out. Okay. Yeah, Lori, sure. If you, by all means, call in if you want to. If you have something to say, that would be great. Oops. I was looking for my other, I thought I opened my other file. It had my date. There it is. I will wait for Lori. We'll talk to Lori for a couple minutes. She's going to call in. I will wait for you. I'm just teasing. Well, maybe nobody's popping up. There we go. All right. Hello. Thank you.
Hi.
I'm going to turn off our images there.
I want to save you, help you.
Thanks. No, I figured I could disconnect. She might come back, but I don't want to. I feel like people are probably getting sick of me rambling, but I don't know. A few people are still listening. So.
Yeah, so you said that you enjoyed the episode. It was better than the last episode.
Oh yeah, the last episode pissed me off too bad. But like I said, I think it proves I like the show. If it makes me that bad, it's not necessarily a horrible thing. But
I
yeah,
still
I don't
don't
like
like
what they did to Coach
I
at
still
all.
don't like what they did to Coach. Yeah, I'm very upset about that.
Yeah, me too. I think I will be for a while. I liked him. And I think he really represented like their innocence too. And now that's gone to shit, which I think is quite
Yes.
apparent. So,
And Shauna, I mean, can she be even more hateful than she's been, right? I mean, making Natalie carve up his body after she killed him was awful.
it was awful, but that's why I thought it was kind of strange after. I feel like she was almost like forgiving her the way she was trying to teach her how to do it. Like she could have been being cruel about it and she wasn't, which was a change and
Yeah.
very strange. But I think now maybe she's like, it's over, it's done with, move on type of thing. I don't know. But yes, Samuel, thank you. Please smash the like button on Sci-Fivision. And it's appreciated. The like button and the subscribe button. It's a big thing. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think what else.
And also don't forget Natalie's a hunter. She knows how to shoot. So to kill her would be hurting themselves. So she realized that it's
Well, they
better to
have
keep
Jen
her
now,
around.
though. I mean, they do have Jen that's been hunting. But we know Natalie survives, so it's not. We don't have to worry too much about Nat. But yeah, I don't know. I think that maybe she's going to try to be a good leader. I think she would have been a good leader if they made her a leader in the beginning, other than the whole coach thing. But at the same time, if she had been the leader, he would have been dead right away and wouldn't have been suffering. Now, if she would have burned him alive, he would have been suffering.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't have kept him suffering for that long. I still, though, sorry, my nose is itchy. My biggest problem, though, is I still don't understand why she didn't poison him, because she could have done it and gotten away with it.
That's true.
I mean, it's a TV show, but I mean, they could have blamed it on anybody. Or they could have even maybe made it look accidental. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It just, it was weird that they did it that way. And I get it. Like, it makes sense story-wise, but yeah.
I missed part of the interview. Was she asked about the bear and her vision?
Yeah. Offhand to remember exactly what she said. I'm trying to remember exactly what she said. But yeah, she did talk a little bit about it and kind of what she thought it meant. I had asked her, but obviously it was all her interpretation. But yeah, we talked about a lot of the visions. We would have talked longer. She had to go. She could not stay real long, unfortunately.
Yeah, she's very interesting.
Yeah, she was great. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll be able to get her back again. I don't know. Forever Autumn says, I think Nat wanted his death to be quick and poison might have prolonged it. I don't know. I feel like poison would have been an easy death. I guess it depends how much you poison somebody, if you give them the right amount or whatever. I don't know. But she could have even given him like something to take his pain away and then been like, oops, I overdosed him. And made it like it was an accident. I don't know. That would have, to me, made slightly more sense. I don't. Yeah.
That scene when they forced him to eat, that was awful. Oh.
Yeah, I think that they could have threatened him and he would have known that they would have done it. He might have been like, you won't do it, but I think he would have, and I think he would have eaten. And I think that would have been just as successful and they wouldn't have had to do it. And I didn't like that scene, but it does show that Natalie's not unflappable, which I find interesting, because I did find it interesting that she was affected by it. I really didn't think she would be, especially after she watched Melissa slice his Achilles and was okay with that,
Yeah, that was horrible.
That was very, very horrible. I would agree with that.
I think Natalie is very sensitive, and that's why she became a drug addict, because she couldn't cope with what she went through in the wilderness, the things that they did and what she had to do. But she is a sensitive person. So she did feel for the coach. She really did.
Yeah, I think she did. Like I said, in her own twisted way, I think she cared about him. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, that scene was sweet, but weird, but I think it was meant to be both. So,
Yeah. And Misty also. And she was in love with him at one point, and
she was. That's what
I
made
mean, it
it
was
real.
hard for her to come to terms with his death, but I think eventually she understood it, though, that it
Well,
was,
she must have forgiven Nat eventually.
yeah,
So.
yeah. As far as who killed Lottie, I don't know. Do you think Lisa really could have done it?
I don't think Lisa did it. I'm not sure that she had reason to do it. I mean, she was mad at Lottie. I was trying to remember the reason why she came to kill her that night or something, right? I'm trying to remember how that went down. Because I thought Lisa had forgiven her, but then Misty almost killed her and ended up killing Natalie instead. I'm
Natalie.
trying to remember exactly what happened, what Lisa had to do with that.
Well,
Because
Lisa
the thing is,
happened.
Natalie was telling her to leave, that this was going down. I remember she was trying to get her out of there.
Yeah, Lottie told her to leave, but she didn't. And she came there and she saw what was happening. And then she sees Natalie being killed, which she got to like Natalie. And so I'm
Yeah, and
sure
that
she
was
was really upset about that. And then she finds out that Lottie was hallucinating the whole time. So she may have been extremely angry.
I think maybe, I don't know. I would have thought she would have been more angry at Misty than at Lottie. That's why I'm not sure. To me, it makes tons of sense. I thought she had kind of, I don't want to say forgiven her. I mean, she didn't like what she did, but she even said something before about like being in didn't she say something like that about being in the cult, like helped her, changed her for the better? Because she even said it helped Natalie. She said it helped
Natalie. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I feel like in one of the other episodes, she said something like that it was good for her, like even if it was bad. I thought she did. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I don't know. I could see her being mad at Misty for killing Natalie, but I'm not sure why she'd be mad at Lottie.
Well, because Lottie took her money, first of all. Lottie told her this is the way the world is. She feels that Lottie lied to her and betrayed her. And she gave up a lot to join that cult. So, maybe from that point of view, she's resentful of Lottie. And who knows if that 50,000 was really for her. Maybe she just took it off Lottie.
Yes, I just feel like her giving her the 50,000 made sense, and maybe that's why I think she didn't do it. I don't know. I think it could be her, but I think it's more likely it might be Callie, because I just keep thinking that it makes sense that Misty sent the DNA to Walter. Walter is going to test the DNA against Shauna, and I think it's going to come up as a match. And then they're going to say, wait, it's not an exact match. And then it's going to turn out that it's either Callie or Jeff. That's what I think they're going to do. I don't know. Just because if I was a writer, I feel like that's what my idea would have been.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that's the case, but that's my thought. I think that will happen. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know that Callie necessarily had a reason to kill her, though. Callie seemed to like her. Callie seemed to want to emulate her. She did try to kill her mother, but she seemed like she'd gotten over it. Maybe she really hadn't. Or like I said, maybe it's Jeff. Well, Jeff wouldn't have the same DNA. So my idea wouldn't work with Jeff. It would work with Callie, but not Jeff. But yeah, I don't know. That's my idea, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
No, I really don't know. That's what I think is going to happen. But it could be anybody. It could
Well,
be.
I still think Walter is behind.
Could be Walter's behind it too. Yeah, maybe he's going to try to frame Shauna.
Did you hear the theory that his parents could be the ones that they kill in the wilderness? Those are his parents?
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier. That's been a theory that's been floating around, that he's like the birder's kid or whatever. I mean, is it possible, and does it make sense for revenge? Yes. I just think there's so many of these theories, like we did with Lost. Martin is this person, Martin is that person. Like, I don't know. Walter is, to me, I just think Walter is Walter, and I don't know that I want him to turn out to be somebody else, because I've also seen theories that Walter is Melissa, and that he was trans, and that it used to be Melissa. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible, but yeah, Walter's Walter until I hear otherwise.
Right.
I also feel like it's hard for me with Walter, because I feel like Walter has done everything he can to help Misty, and I'm not sure that him killing Lottie would actually benefit or make Misty happy. Like, yes, I guess she likes to investigate, but I still think, like, if he was going to kill somebody, wouldn't he kill like Shauna, who she didn't like,
Right.
as opposed to Lottie? Like the Lottie makes no sense to me. If he had killed Shauna, then maybe, but yeah, I don't know. Don't know. But I'm excited for next week. I do like the idea that Scarlet had, that maybe this is going to be like a lot, whatever you want to call it, like is going to be the length of the recording, and it's going to be like, you know, take place during that time, and we're actually going to see it unfold, because it was 43 minutes something, I don't know, but the episode's called Croak, which I assume probably means croak like die, as opposed to a frog.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you know, as far as the DAT tape, I mean, Walter would have the means for that. I mean, he's a rich guy. He would have that kind of equipment at the time.
He would.
I could, you know, if that were his parents, let's say that were his parents, and somehow he got their possessions somehow when they were rescued or something, I don't know, and that tape, that recording was in there, he could put it onto a DAT tape, and that way it cannot be destroyed. Nobody could rewrite over that.
Well, I could be wrong, but I'm kind of assuming that the DAT tape was made as a DAT tape because of the fact that they say the bird watchers use a DAT tape, because otherwise that statement is kind of for nothing. That's the only reason I'm saying that. That's not to say that he couldn't have found it, but I don't think he made it. Scarlett's in the chat. Thanks. Yes.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
Scarlett's, I think is going to go to bed, but she's saying thank you to everybody, and to Nia. Yes. Thank you again, once again, to Nia for coming.
Good night, Scarlett.
Good night, Scarlett. We're going to stay a couple more minutes. I lost my train of thought. Oh, I did see this thing on Facebook. Somebody had posted, it looks like the bag that the female bird watcher is carrying is the same bag that was in Natalie's storage locker.
Oh.
But I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure how that makes sense of why, though. Unless maybe, like, is it possible maybe Natalie really wasn't dead? Maybe they took her when she was? I doubt it, but I'm just saying. Scarlett said they could just make a recording of the DAT tape by using a regular tape deck. Yes, there is ways to record it in that sense. You just can't record it, like, you know, from a DAT tape, I guess. Like, you'd have to play it and record the audio out loud, I guess, because I don't know. I just remember reading this whole thing, like, and after I watched that, X-Files saying you couldn't copy it. That tape B, because I want to know. I keep mentioning it, and I don't actually have a thing that says it. Yeah, you can copy from one DAT tape to another with a transfer, but that's what I mean. I don't think otherwise there was supposed to be a way to transfer, but I don't know. Things are, I mean, now is not before, you know what I mean? In the 90s or whatever is a lot different than now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
you can hold a cell phone up to it and record it now. So it's kind of a moot point, but I don't know though. My only problem with the tape is I don't want another blackmail storyline. Like, we already had one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're not exactly blackmailing them if they're not requesting money and they're just threatening they're going to kill them. But it also makes me question, like, why Shauna and not the other ones? Was she the only one that did something? Like, is she the one that kills them?
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
I don't know. But I think them going after them is just going to make things worse. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Well, at least the show is, you know, picking up, which is good, because I think the first few episodes were kind of slow. Not much happened. So it's getting better.
Yeah, it's definitely moving, and we're hitting the back half of the season now, but there's still 4 episodes left. Sorry, I saw a message. I was looking to see what it was. Yeah, it is moving, and I'm really excited now to see what happened because that was quite an ending.
That was
Yeah,
funny.
you're right, Scarlett. That's my point. It's like it's kind of now it's dumb to say you can't record it. You can just use a cell phone or whatever. And yeah, Scarlett's like, I'm going to bed. Scarlett's chatting with us. Come talk if you're going to chat. No, I'm kidding. But I liked the third season too. I didn't like what they did to Coach. It made me not like it because I was so mad. But like I said, being mad at killing the character means I cared about the character. I liked them more than I thought I did. It says, I just saw a post that said poor birders came to camp about 3 hours too late. They could have had Antler Queen nap, but now they have to deal with the local terrorist of Shauna. Terrorist CEO of Shauna. You're not wrong, AA. You're not wrong. Yeah, they would have done a lot better, I think, with Nat. I think Nat has more compassion than Shauna does. I still don't understand sometimes how the Shauna of not the island, the wilderness, ended up being the adult Shauna, because like I said, I like the adult Shauna. The teen Shauna I can't stand.
Mhm.
So it's interesting. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a season that's post-rescue as they're still teens, and then seeing a season that's post-rescue as they're younger adults, like, or older,
Yeah.
younger. I mean, like, young adults. Yeah, I guess is the best way to say that.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too, actually.
Because otherwise, I mean, if they're planning to have 5 seasons, I don't think they want to completely get rid of that cast and the younger versions. I just kind of lament the idea that I really thought they were going to have us like find out like one girl that was alive each season. And that, not that a couple of them can't be alive, but that doesn't seem like the plan they're going with, since they're saying they're dead. At least they didn't know they were alive. So, yeah.
But Melissa, well, that's interesting about Melissa, because if she survived with them, then they would know about her unless they thought she died or something.
Well, that's my point. I'm guessing by their comment, either if somebody survived, they didn't know about it, or like I said, it's possible that somebody survived but died in the present. Like it's possible, like for all we know, 5 more girls could get off the plane, right?
Mhm.
And 4 of them can commit suicide, and Melissa could go live by herself and not tell anybody she's alive. She could become a hermit and nobody ever saw her again. I mean, we don't
That's what
know
happened with Van, right? Van took off.
Yeah. And that's where I liked how they did like the Van reveal later. And I kind of assumed they were going to do like one person each season, but it's definitely possible that like one person came back, but wants nothing to do with them. And then maybe Melissa, they just think's dead and isn't, I guess. I don't know. Adult Shauna killed. You're right. Adult Shauna killed a rabbit and killed a guy, but I still like her character more than I like teen Shauna. Adult Shauna doesn't seem to be cruel. Like, yeah, she's bad, but she doesn't, like, she killed Adam, but I feel like when she killed Adam, it was kind of, yeah, she's still the worst, right? But when she killed Adam, it was kind of like a reaction. Like, it wasn't premeditated. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't torture him or decide she was going to kill him and make him suffer. Like, it just happened. I'm not saying it's okay, but what they did to Coach was way worse. So, yeah, I mean, like if she tortured Adam or something, I would be saying I don't like the adult Shauna either. But I think she's funny. I like the actress. So yeah, I don't know. I like the adult storyline. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll probably find out a lot next week. I think next week is going to tell us what happened to the birders. It's going to maybe have if Melissa's alive and if she's played by what's her name?
Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank. If she's played by Hilary Swank, I could see Hilary Swank being in next week. I could see Joe McHale being in next week. We really don't know. And I don't think it says, I think they still say that they're all in all the episodes. I don't think it will tell us. Let me look and see. Let's see. Croak. It doesn't look like it says anything about Croak. The odd thing is it says about episode 8. Who is Brittany? It says Teen Brittany in episode 7. Who the hell is Teen Brittany?
I have no idea.
'Cause I don't think one of those like unknown ones was ever named Brittany, but maybe I'm wrong. But no, it doesn't have anybody listed as that. Just I think the only one I don't recognize is Teen Brittany, and there's Teen Robin. Like I know Robin is one of the ones that we don't really know anything about them that sort of pops up sometimes. But it doesn't say. That's the only one that I don't recognize. That, and there's an orderly it has listed, so that doesn't help. It also says Lottie's in it, which Lottie's dead, so
Oh, it could have been like a back.
it could be a flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it could be a flash.
I'm
Oh, but see, now you got me doing it. Now you got me doing it. Let's see. Whoever they are, those two are in the next episode supposedly. But again, that doesn't tell us anything. So
I think making Melissa the one is too obvious, though, because everyone thinks that's going to be the case.
yeah,
I'd like it to be a twist, somebody we don't expect,
yeah.
Um,
The problem I have with that, though, and they've done it before, and I get it, like the fact that they have those couple girls that we don't even see, that we're all like, where'd they come from? That they keep changing the cast, and then all of a sudden they're important. So, like, if it's Robin, or I'm guessing maybe that other girl's name's Brittany. I thought she had a different name. I don't know. But, like, if it's one of them that we didn't know about, I kind of feel like that's also a letdown, though.
yeah.
It's kind of like how I felt with Paradise, them making the murderer not really be somebody important. Like, I want the person that is going after them to be somebody either we know, it doesn't have to be Melissa, but somebody we know, or even the birders, because that makes sense if one of them survived. But like to randomly be one of the girls that we know nothing about shows up, that would annoy me. Either that or give them some screen time first.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah. I don't know. Up until last week, I thought maybe it was going to be Ben. And then I even kind of thought, well, maybe. But because people said it looked like he was in the clip of When They Come Home, it looked like he was there. But then again, when they made that footage, like for the first season or whatever, they may also have not known what they planned to do.
Yeah.
And could have filmed it with everybody. Or that could have been supposed to be Travis. You don't know. So, yeah. I don't know. It's all speculation at this point. But seeing last of it's April 13th. But yeah. So I guess we'll have to wait till next week and find out.
Yeah.
But well, do you have anything? Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, I didn't see you guys' comments. I had the thing covered. Wow, you guys had a lot of comments. A lot of them are from Scarlet. See, you should be in here talking, and then you don't have to put them in the comments. Both Misty and Shauna killed. You're right. They did kill people. He may die quick. She's like, finally, Joel McHale. He may die quick. He might. Forever Autumn said, I think Brittany is the dark-haired girl who's always in the background. I feel like I thought it was a different name, though. You may be right, but it was Robin, and I thought it was somebody else. But maybe I'm wrong. TCI says episode 8 says something about the return of a teammate. Let me see what it says in the episode description. It says, because it does have a description of 8 and not 7, which is kind of weird. It says, with a possible escape from a nightmare, the Yellowjackets learn not from their nightmare. The Yellowjackets learn not everyone may be in a rush to leave. In the present, the unexpected return of an old teammate sends Shauna spiraling in ways that could probably concern everyone. Should probably concern everyone. So yeah, it makes it sound like it's Melissa, but who knows? I guess it cannot be. But a possible escape from their nightmare makes it sound like there's a chance to come home, though. That's episode 8, A Normal Boring Life. And then after that is how the story ends in full circle. So it could definitely be heading that way. Britt and Robin are new characters. I just, for some reason, the name Brittany didn't sound right. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just, for whatever reason, I didn't think it was Brittany. That's the issue. I had the wrong name. Last I checked, Hillary was only in one episode, and that was episode 10. But I wouldn't go by that. I had thought she was supposed to be in sooner than that, but I don't know because I haven't seen it. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go by Internet Movie Database. I really wouldn't. I hope Melissa isn't a survivor. Let that girl pull Queen card. I've had enough. Yeah, I don't like Melissa. I mean, the actress is doing a really good job, but I don't like Melissa either. red shirt birders and a red shirt junior varsity team members that just showed up this season. Yeah, but I don't want Akilah to go either. Rumors were Allie. Maybe Allie, like the one that had the hurt leg. I have to question though, why would Allie want to kill them though? Because they kind of saved Allie's life. I mean, a screwed up leg versus being stuck with them in the wilderness. I'd take the screwed up leg any day, right? Even if she, went through a lot of pain over it. I don't know that would be a reason to stalk them and try to kill them. But I guess we'll find out. The only thing I can do is there is one thing I can check, but I doubt it's on that either. Usually the episode titles are on regular Internet Movie Database. Let me check this real quick. So one place to check. And like I said, there's nothing on the press site either, but let's see. Credits. Upcoming. Okay. Yes, it does say she's in episode 10, according to Internet Movie Database Pro as well. Let me see. I don't know. Usually the credits are the same. I'm just checking since we're talking about it to see. I don't know though if it has. I don't even know if you can go by episodes. I've never looked this way. Okay. Well, the next one's what? Episode 7? Okay. Yeah, it looks like I think yeah, I think this list looks to be the same too, because I don't see anything about the bird watchers for episode 7. I just see what I did on the other one. And for episode 8, I'm looking and seeing Team Melissa Tyson. I think it's the same. It says again, Team Brittany and Robin, but that's teen anyway, so it doesn't help. Yeah, it doesn't have anything there either. They generally, I think, try not to give out spoilers, but usually if it's updated, it's because somebody else put it up. But again, you can't always trust Internet Movie Database anyway.
That's true.
I don't know that I would necessarily go by that. Yeah, I don't know. I wish they put up I don't know what day they put the photos up. But it's, like I said before, it's only up to the new episode that we just watched. So, and there's no press release or anything. So there's nothing. Rumors were Allie's, yeah. Chris says, I really wish Juliette Lewis had stayed on. Would love to see that and have a happy ending as an adult. Yeah, I like Juliette Lewis in this. I would have liked to have seen more of her too, but I mean, it is what it is. She's gone. I mean, like I said, I like the other adults too. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if they all died in the end. I really wouldn't. It makes sense. They get what they deserve. Natalie actually I would say the one that deserved it the least.
Yeah. She had a conscience. She cared about people. Yeah.
She did. I wondered if after she tried to kill him, I thought they were going to have him wake up and she didn't do it right.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad they didn't go that route because I was worried they were going to do that. I really was. But yeah, well, I guess, do you have anything else to add about the episode? Because I'm about out of things to say. I feel like I'm going into now.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay. But everybody, please subscribe to Sci-Fi-vision. Tell everybody, link this interview, send it to people. We haven't gotten that many views. I feel like for an interview, really, it would be nice to get some people to see it. I've been trying to share it everywhere, but we appreciate those of you who made, okay, wait, TCS said they made Natalie seem like Natalie died at peace, didn't they? Kind of. I mean, it wasn't like a bad death or anything, or like a really painful death or anything. So I guess there's that.
But she wasn't ready to go.
She wasn't ready to go, no. But the actress was, which is what mattered, I guess.
Yes.
That is what you get. But for those, I was just starting to say though, but for those of you who did stay, Do appreciate it very much. Like I said, we'll be back Tuesday at 10, and then don't forget March 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern is our interview with Vanessa for Yellowjackets. So come back to see that. Go to Discord, join it. You can do watch parties and find out all the information about when the live streams and stuff are, because I always post it in there. So if I tell you the wrong time, you can find it there. But our next one is Tuesday at 10. And then, of course, we have Severance again Saturday night at 10 with our watch party at 9 for that, before we circle back around to Yellowjackets again next Sunday. But that's about it. Like I said, go in Discord. Tell me what watch parties you want, what you want to see us talk about. We're definitely open to suggestions and thinking about doing other live streams and other watch parties and all that good stuff. Actually, the one thing I didn't say is, if you guys, I forgot, tonight is Sunday and it's only 10:30. If you guys want to do the 9 Bodies in a Mexican Funeral drop, we can do a watch party. I don't know if people want to. I'll put it in the announcement, see if anybody's down for watching it. I know last week everybody wanted to. Yeah, I would be open to watching it. I can't remember. Are you watching it?
I want to see it, but I can't watch it tonight though. If you're going to watch it another night, I'd be interested.
Well, we can always do it again another night, but I just don't want to sit and watch, like, all 3. I just want to do one.
Right.
I can do other stuff too while we're doing it, but
Right.
But if you guys want to watch it, I'll post it in there, see if people want to, and if you do, we'll watch it. But yeah, we can always watch it another time too. I mean, that's not a big deal because I don't have to stay. I have to stream it. But I know last week people wanted to, so they might want to. I like the show. I know not everybody does. I think it's a fun show. I mean, it's not like the most involved show or the most deep diveable show, but I think it's fun. I'm enjoying it. Good. But I think it worked as a bingeable show, though. I don't know if maybe it's because I've seen 4 of them at once and I'm just waiting to see who the killer is. I don't know. But yeah, tonight's episode 3 on MGM. So yeah, we'll see. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody. And thank you for calling in to keep me company after Scarlet. You're welcome. Anytime. Yeah. Oh, I appreciate it. So yeah, everybody, just, like I said, watch out Discord. You'll get notifications there. Also, Twitter, Sci-Fivision. I post those kind of things, all my notifications. And like I said, I am considering seeing if I can make some kind of easy blog thing would help with the schedule. I'm wondering if it would help people keep track of it a little better and help me keep track of it a little better for that matter. Thanks for Sodom. And yeah, thanks everybody for coming. We appreciate it. Please share with all your friends.
Yeah, and also please visit my channel because I'm putting out another video tonight actually on Severance. So yeah, check it out.
Visit Real Cinema Therapy as well.
Yes.
And yeah. So, all right, guys, have a good night.
Good night, Jamie. Good night, everybody. See you soon.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks again to Nia, too.
Oh, you're welcome.